Pilipinas Live is the home of Philippine volleyball. Watch your favorite volleyball leagues such as Spikers Turf, Premier Volleyball League, and the UAAP, all in one app. You can watch all these games and more live and on your preferred device. Download Pilipinas Live today from the App Store or Google Play Store and register for free.
How much do we love Pinoy sports? As a fan, we don't just watch the games.
The season for me, and I just owe it all to the work I put in.
We watch every part, every angle, every name. We talk about the plays. Talk about it for days. We witness the big events, the thrilling moments, and relive the best seconds. We cherish the fears, the tears, at syempre, the cheers. How much do we love Pinoy sports? With all our heart, all-out passion. All the time. All with Pilipinas Live. Ang app natin para sa sports natin.
Hello mga ka-PBA! Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. My name is Denise Tan and I'd like to welcome you to the PBA Season 50 Commissioner's Cup live chat on One Sports YouTube presented by TapTap. Ang laban po natin for tonight will be between TNT Tropang 5G versus San Miguel Beermen at the Smart Araneta Coliseum, and that match will start at 7:30 p.m. I know you guys are all excited for the game, pero dito po sa ating live chat, live stream, we encourage everyone to go to the comment section and keep the conversation going. At syempre, let us know kung taga saan kayo, where you guys are watching us from. Sino ang yung chini-cheer na team? TNT ba o San Miguel? At syempre, idagdag nyo na rin kung sino ang inyong favorite PBA player. Again, this is an all-important game for both teams. Title contenders face off as the defending champion. TNT Tropang 5G take on San Miguel Beermen in the main event of this PBA Saturday. Again, maya-maya lang po yan at 7:30 p.m. Unahin natin ang ating mga key players. Siyempre, Junmar Fajardo and the rest of the San Miguel team will get to test a powerhouse, a 7'3" player in ball, and of course, the whole TNT team, na defending champions nga. It will be their first meeting this conference. And after losing the season opener versus Rain or Shine, TNT has a 1-1 record on the standings after 103-97 win over their sister team NLEX as well. So 2-1 sila sa kanilang record. Ito naman si Bolbol maaga nagpakitang gilas as he drops his monster 40-point 16 rebound game on his way to earning the player of the game as the Tropang 5G outscore the Road Warriors 37-25 in the last 12 minutes o yung fourth quarter to get their first win. San Miguel, meanwhile, also got their first win after losing their season opener following a thrilling 103-99 comeback win over Converge. Junmar Fajardo, nagpakitang gilas na naman with 27 points and 17 rebounds as San Miguel stormed back for an 11-point deficit early. And this is rather the first time that San Miguel and TNT will face each other since Beermen's title-clinching 92-77 Game 6 win over TNT last month to capture back-to-back Philippine Cup titles. At since 2024 Commissioner's Cup naman, SMB and TNT have combined to win 5 of the last 6 titles in the PBA. So alam nyo na these are two powerhouse teams, match na match, and they are ready to give it their all tonight. TNT also got the 2025 Governors Cup, 2025 Commissioners Cup. Ito namang San Miguel got the 2025 as well as the 2026 Philippine Cup, and 4 champions of the last 4 conferences in the PBA. Sila talaga yung laging parang dikit at naglalaban for those championships. Pero again, before this game starts, silipin muna natin ang ating standings. Nasaan na nga ba ang ating mga teams for this Commissioner's Cup? Sige, pakita natin saglit. On the top of the standings is Rain or Shine, Elasto Painters, still with a clean slate rather, at 3-0. Sumunod sa kanila ang Terra Firma Jeep. Katay nila ang Phoenix Fuel Masters, ang NLEX Road Warriors, as well as ang Meralco Bolts. Ang Barangay Ginebra naman, San Miguel Beermen at TNT Tropang 5G all have 1 win and 1 loss. Kasunod ang Titan Ultra Giant Risers, who are tied with the Blackwater Bossing with 1 and 2. Kasunod ang Converge Fiber Xers and Magnolia Chicken Templados Hotshots with 1 win and 3 losses. At ang MBK or ang Macau Black Knights are still looking to get their first win. They lost again tonight, kanina lang against Magnolia at the score of 121-109. So MBK still looking for that key, still looking for the answer here in the Commissioner's Cup. Pero again, ang laban po natin is between TNT and San Miguel, and we cannot talk about TNT without their import. 7'3" Bol still dominating here in the PBA. In their last game against NLEX, he had 40 points, 15 rebounds, and 2 blocks. So 2 games into his PBA stint, he continues to live up to the hype. Siya yung talagang pinag-uusapan dito. Bol was born in Khartoum, Sudan, but raised in Kansas City. And ang sabi, he is one of the tallest players in NBA history. Pero syempre, ang katapat niya dyan is itong si Junmar Fajardo, who we all know, wala na institusyon na rin dito sa PBA. Pero hindi lang po si Bol ang syempre nagpakitang gilas dito sa TNT. Ang kasama niya rito, ang kanilang solid topa, is si Jordan Heading. So pakita natin kung ano yung output ni Jordan Heading. Jordan Heading had 15 points, 4 steals, and 4 assists. Si Jordan Heading naman is very familiar with the Filipino type of basketball. He played for San Miguel Alab, Pilipinas back in 2019, went to Taiwan, went to Japan, went back to Australia, but then back in 2024, bumalik na dito sa Pilipinas when he played for Converge Fiber Xers, and now he is helping out TNT in this conference. Pero again, live chat natin dito, we are inviting everybody to please go to the comment section at ipaalam nyo sa amin, saan nga po ba kayo nanonood ng ating game? Kayo po ba taga dito sa Pilipinas, or if you are abroad, kayo ba ay nanonood kasama ang inyong mga pamilya? Kayo ba ay nagchichikahan for this game? Pero alam nyo po kung kayo po ay abroad din, kayo ay naghahanap ng mas mabilis, safe at sulit na padalove to the Philippines, download Send, the trusted remittance best friend of OFWs worldwide. Ano ba yung kagandahan nitong Tap? Alam nyo, meron akong Tap, meron akong Tap app. It's so simple to use, just a few clicks, tapos pwede mo na padala yung pera mo buong buo. There is no transfer fee to mobile banks and e-wallet. So if you are budgeting your money, talagang every peso counts. Alam naman natin ngayon, talagang mahirap ang buhay, and we have to make sure na lahat ng piso ay napupunta sa ating mga pamilya. Tap Send is the way to go. And if you are really a sports fan, you can follow One Sports on YouTube, Facebook, X, Reddit, Instagram, and TikTok for the latest in the world of sports. Madami pa tayong pag-uusapan, kaya dito lang po kayo, magbabalik po kami.
Ikaw ba, alam mo ang tap-tap send at gumagamit ka ba ng tap-tap send?
Yes, tap-tap send ang ginagamit ko kapag nagpapadala ka sa Pilipinas. Kakapadala ko lang na.
Welcome back mga ka-PBA dito po sa ating live chat on One Sports on YouTube presented by TapTap. Kung kanina napag-usapan natin ang key players ng TNT, puntahan naman natin ang mga nagpapakitang gilas for the San Miguel Beermen. Of course, we cannot talk about San Miguel without talking about Junmar Fajardo. He was the key player. He is, of course, a 9-time MVP. And he had 27 points, 17 rebounds, 12 of 19 from the field in their last matchup, and he really steered the way para dito sa San Miguel para makuha nga yung kanilang unang panalo. Pero etong San Miguel, throughout the years, we all know it's not just a one-man show. Laging may kasangga at may katulong etong si Junmar. And in their last game, tignan natin kung paano siya tinulungan ni Marshall Lassiter. Ito, Marshall Lassiter had 11 points, all in the fourth quarter. He had 2 rebounds. He was 3 of 8 from the field. He was actually scoreless in the first 3 quarters versus Converge, but we all know Marshall, he's a super clutch player, and sometimes it's not always about starting really strong, but scoring when it matters most. At yan nga yung ginawa ni Marshall Lassiter, scoring at the right time to give this win for San Miguel. At syempre, with that win, they now have they're now on the standings, they're on the board, at maganda yung naging feedback din ni Coach Leo Austria. Pakinggan natin what he has to say.
Well, this is the kind of game na kailangan may experience namin at the early start of this conference. And because the last game we had against Titans is really frustrating and we thought na that kind of game could give us some trouble. But I'm so happy tonight because nakita natin yung tunay na laro ng San Miguel. In a close fight talagang nakafocus sila. Unlike the last game, I think everybody was so out-focused because we give up a lot of pass-break points and then turnover points. That's huge, But tonight, still give up 16 pass-break points and 21 turnover points. So that's it pa rin, And slowly, siguro, we can recover, siguro, tama-tama na our next game. But next game is really a fantastic team because of the kind of player they have. And everybody was so inspired with their import well. And I hope na this kind of game we played give us some inspiration to compete with them. Because if we lost tonight, I think that game is really difficult for us the next game. Because the morale of the player is too low. And after losing at Titans, but I'm so happy this guy, Junmar Fajardo, is really focused on this game. And he told me before, the last 2 days, Coach, bawi tayo.
And there you have it, Coach Leo Austria, absolutely loving the fact na nakita niyo daw from San Miguel, they are much more focused. He saw the real game. Alam naman natin, kilala ni Coach Leo Austria ang kanyang mga Beermen, and they played with some inspiration, and hopefully, yung magandang ipinakita nila, they will be able to take it into this game. They will be banking on momentum, and let's see if talagang mailabas nila yung kanilang quote-unquote totoong laro ngayong gabi. Pero ngayon pag-usapan natin kasi itong San Miguel, 2 games in, he's also had experience to see different styles of basketball. Pero ang tanong dito, kakayanin niya kaya ang laro sa PBA? Alam naman natin, we're a little bit rough, but that's how Philippine basketball is played. So titignan natin if he will be a good complement for the San Miguel team. Pero ngayon, bago mag-umpisa ang laban, silipin muna natin kung sino yung mga nandito sa ating live chat. I'm so happy actually before pa mag-start yung ating game. Napakarami nang nagko-comment sa atin ano. Oh, by the way, please let us know sa comment section below who you think is the best big man on the floor tonight. Sino nga ba? Junmar Fajardo ba? 9-time MVP? Or itong si Bolbol who is also 7'3"? Match kaya yung dalawa? O sino nga ba ang tingin yung magiging mas lamang? Sige, silipin natin yung mga nagko-comment sa atin. Meron ako mga nakita kanina from West Adelaide daw. May mga nanonood from Dubai. From South Korea, si Fauci. Denise, pa-acknowledge naman ako. Ayan. Hello, Ken Fauci. Okay, o sige. Silipin lang natin, ano? Sino pa ba? Watching from Brunei, si Roderick Mabilog. Sino pa? Sa San Antonio daw, John Mark Vlog. Sige, maya-maya po talagang sisilipin ulit natin yung mga ating mga comment section. But don't forget to let us know where you guys are watching from. Taga saan po kayo? Sino ang inyong chini-cheer na mga team? Sino ang inyong favorite player? At sino sa tingin nyo will be the best big man on the floor tonight? Again, will it be Junmar Fajardo or itong import ng TNT na si Bolbol? But again, reminder lang po natin sa ating mga kapatid from all around the world, para sa mas mabilis, safe at sulit na padalove to the Philippines, download TapTapSend, the trusted remittance best friend of OFWs worldwide. Ang pinakamaganda po dito, it is no transfer fee to mobile banks and e-wallet. So ibig sabihin, lahat ng binabudget nyong pera, all of that will go to your family, your friends, at kung saan po talaga dapat nakalaan yung hard-earned money nyo, dun po talaga siya pupunta. It is also giving you the opportunity to do all your banking errands at the comfort of your own home. At konting click lang, magagawa nyo na po lahat yan. At syempre, speaking of clicks, nako kahit ano pong i-click nyo, whether that be One Sports on YouTube, Facebook, X, Reddit, Instagram, or TikTok, you can follow the latest in the world of sports if you do follow all our social media accounts. Okay, malapit na po at mag-uumpisa na po ang ating laban. Again, tonight's game will be between SMB and TNT. Tutok lang po kayo.
Yung mga malalaro, and they are deep basically in every position.
Let's see kung sino ngayon ang makakauna here in the elimination round of the Commissioner's Cup. Too early to tell kung sila ulit ang magkikita sa finals kasi ang dami ring mga magaganda pinapakita sa ibang mga teams. Even Terra Firma, di ba? Starting out with 3 straight wins.
You gotta love how they did their first 3 wins. Kumbaga, may mga nagsasabi ka, oh, kota na yan. But you know, you want them to be successful. You want to keep on seeing them winning because end of the day, that's what we want to see dito sa ating liga.
Of course, they did lose their previous game, but they'll be back on the court soon. BGR nauna na on the other side. Fajardo, sumagot naman.
You know, when you look at Junmar Fajardo, 9-time MVP, di ba? Grabe lang talaga eh. And he still moves like he's so young. And ang maganda dito kay Junmar, injured or hindi injured, he plays. And 100% yung commitment nung buhay niya sa basketball.
Alam mo, I had a conversation recently with Coach Alex Compton. Ito, tingnan muna natin that turnaround for Junmar. You're 6'10". You're not supposed to pull out moves like that, pero a 9-time MVP can. Sabi nga ni Coach Alex Compton, who's here for the NBTC, no, parang dati yung benchmark, Cap Alvin Patrimonio,
Yes.
Don Ramon Fernandez na tig-4. Ngayon, pagsamahin mo yung dalawang yun,
Kulang pa din.
kulang pa kay Junmar. And people are saying, hindi pa tapos to si Takraki.
Oo, hindi pa.
Here he is. Pinag-isipan yung tres. Gustong atakin si Ball na atapikan. TNT on the run. They go to ng batak. And he's fouled by Pyeongson.
Now, let's see if TNT will try to run a little bit more again in this ball game. Alam mo, ganda kasing makita nitong dalawang kupunan if the entire lineup is healthy. But that's important eh. You know, when you're going for a championship, and that's why you build the lineup na kailangan 2-3 deep ka in each position. Because pag may nasaktan, di ba, the next man up, you're hoping he is, you know, as good or kung may dip ng konti, konti lang.
That's right. Well, speaking of that, still not in uniform para sa SMB are Jericho Cruz and Chris Ross na parehong hindi rin nakapaglaro in their first 2 games. But this time around, Jeron Teng also sidelined for this game.
Malalaman natin mamaya. Kumakuhay-kuhay na si Apple sa atin eh.
Na mamaya makakabalita tayo dyan kay Apple.
Kala ko nasa ibang bansa siya. Dun sa mga pinapakita niya.
Well, Apple is always everywhere.
Well-traveled.
Look at Ball pulling out the moves. Heading straight to the basket. Hindi lang makukumpleto yung kanyang
Pareho ang
inaasam
tangkad nila eh, di ba? Sila ni Lee eh.
Oh, him and CJ Perez are talking.
Alam mo, lahat ng mga manlalaro na kalaban ni Ball, eh talagang they're gonna try to get to him. Whether it's physical, whether it's having a conversation with him. Because ang laki niya eh, and his skill level is way up there. So you want him, not necessarily naman, kung ikaw kalaban, syempre gusto mo mawala yung laro niya. And there are a number of ways of doing it. You know, talking to him, having him focus on something else. At hindi lang gumagawa doon na mag-trash talk ever, na ayaw mong i-trash talk si Michael Jordan. Kasi talagang mas lalong gumagaling. You don't want to have him, to give him an extra reason to play even better.
Ngayon, Dom, I think the challenge right now for SMB is for Marcus Lee to be activated on offense na yung si Ball ang nakatao kay Fajardo.
Tama.
But Wami Johnson is the one who helps out in that possession.
Well, itong si Lee kasi ganun ka-impressive yung numero niya eh, di ba? So, and that's the key. You know, when you're an import in the PBA, mas lalo na. But for a team like TNT or San Miguel, you have to bring the numbers, not just every game, right? You need to bring it consistently. You know that the focus is on you. Spotlight is on you all the time. Kasi yung expectation, magagaling ng mga kakampi mo. Yung expectation is kaya mo kami ipanalo ng championship.
Well, definitely, etong si Marcus Lee, he's a defensive presence. Kinuha siya ng SMB, but can you survive na ganyan lang talaga? Medyo, kumbaga, pedestrian numbers.
Well, if you look at it, right? If you have San Miguel, ang dami mo namang weapon din. Right? So, i-gauge mo din kung kamusta yung mga import ng kalaban. Right? If it's enough, then you can. But again, the coaching staff will have to make that decision. Pero gusto mo kasi parati na yung import mo kayang skumor talaga.
That's right.
If I remember correctly, there's only one team that won a championship with an import scoring or averaging 10, 11
just
points.
Around 10 points.
Diba?
Just around 10
points, which was rain or shine.
Pierre Henderson Niles was their import.
So yun, di ba? It was a perfect fit. But, you know, at this day and age, hindi titignan mo yung kalaban mo. End of the day, yun ang barometer. Right? Just like Junmar Fajardo. Everybody else is looking like, sino tatapat natin kay Junmar?
That is true.
Diba? That's what it is.
Nambatak scored a 3-point play earlier. Hindi nakuha that time. SMB down by 4. Tiongson zigzagging. Titira over BGR and rebounded by Oftana.
I like how they're starting Wami Chongson this conference. Because amongst the players that have transitioned or moved to San Miguel, si Wami yung hindi pa nagiging consistent yung production. You know, largely also because ang dami niyang kaposisyon. But now that, you know, some guys are not there, he's being given the chance. You want to be able to let that game come to you and be able to familiarize yourself with your teammates pag game situation.
Alam naman natin yung kalibre ni Johnson with what he did as the leader of Terra Firma.
However, it's different, right? Super scorers
different.
Dito, you have to facilitate, you have to pick your shots. And when you pick your shots, kailangan mas efficient ka. Kung dati, if you're shooting 50% from the field, baka ngayon kailangan 70%.
Pero eto na nga, sabi niya, pinag-uusapan niyo ba ako? Wami Johnson, now with 5 points.
But obviously, 70% is very high, right? So you're looking at, you know, 50, 60%, maganda na talaga yun. If you're taking a lot of shots.
Do you remember that stretch before, Dom, na parang, I think it was 3 straight wins for Terra Firma. Kasama dun sa 3 na yun, wins over San Miguel and Barangay Ginebra.
Yes.
And in both those wins, Wami dropped 30 points.
Yes. And that was like within a week or 10 days, if I'm not mistaken.
A foul on Ball, and I think yun talaga yung hinahanap ni Junmar that time. Effectively drawing a foul on the TNT import. And look at that, you know, as soon as the whistle was blown, yung kumakausap kay Ball,
Ayun, binangga niya eh.
clear foul. Si Simon and Cici yung kumakausap, kabisado rin yan si Junmar. This is now a 6-0 run for SMB.
Well, that's what we were talking about. San Miguel is a team that, you know, once they get into a rhythm, they're very difficult to stop.
Junmar makes it a 7-0 run and gives San Miguel the lead now. Heading. Sinusukat yung depensa ni Perez. Lee tried to make a swipe. And that backfired as Ball slams it home.
Did you see how high hindi how high he got up there, but how high the ball was.
That's the naka-extend nga lang yung kamay niya. Perez looking to attack. The kick out to Lassiter. Marshall loses it. BGR gets it to Ball. Running start for the TNT import. Heading. Atake, labas kay ng bata. Stingray. Jumper, that's a bucket.
And you like how Ball actually passed that basketball to the corner because that relieves a little bit of pressure from the defense or manguhula yung depensa. Pwede ka naman takapin and then just, you know, go up for that shot.
Especially coming off a highlight play on one side. Mente si Junmar. Ngayon mo lang nakikita yung tira ni Junmar na ganyang kapalobo eh. Ball goes for a heat check. And that's out of bounds. Ball will go back to the Tropa. Ito yung highlight na yun, Dom.
Campbell, and this is what he gave to the San Miguel Beermen. Now TNT up 14-11, 6 minutes and 14 left.
Now, let's try, you know, okay? Junmar against ball here, against ball. Don't be afraid to get the block, ano? I-try mo lang, banggain mo, and then fake. Fake. Baka kumagat siya, konting bangga, para ano natin. Okay? And if ever, okay, if there's a pick and roll, you have to attack him, you have to roll, so that this guy can be open for taking the shot. And even if nagpe-penetrate siya, i-commit mo siya. I-commit mo, saka mo i-drop. Okay?
San Miguel treated last game as a must-win game. As for Coach Leo Austria, mahirap ma-down 0-2, especially with how teams got better and stronger with their respective imports. Dagdag pa dyan, tulad din na banggit ni Jot kanina, they are nursing a couple of injuries to some of their key players. Una na dyan, Jeron Teng with a rib fracture, out for 4 to 6 weeks. Jericho Cruz with a lower back injury, mid-April pa ang balik sa ensayo. And Chris Ross with a right Achilles tendonitis, out for 2 more weeks. They want to win as many games as they can as they anticipate the return of these players. Back to the panel.
Thank you so much, Apple. Malalaking kawalan para sa SMB. But again, dito papasok yung pinag-uusapan natin kanina, Dom, the depth of this.
Very important, right?
Remember yung change ng narrative natin from depth 5 to depth, as in lalim depth squad.
Napaka-importante nun. And, you know, you're just waiting for the time that you're going to be called upon. Remember, Jeron Teng, even last conference, di ba isang beses lang siya ginamit? Was it game number 2, if I'm not mistaken? Best player siya.
Yes.
Right? In the finals, coming off the bench. And, you know, and then after that, hindi na rin masyadong nagamit. But because you're needed at that point in time, you have to be ready, and that's what's important. If you're healthy, you're suited up, kailangan ready ka maglaro regardless of kung kailan ka tawagin.
And that's the beauty with this San Miguel squad. Everyone's bought into the system. You were talking about Jeron Teng having a big game in the finals. In one San Miguel win, si Rodney Brondial naman, yung nag-best player.
And, you know, there's people say, no, sarap naman na nasa San Miguel ka kasi, di ba, you win a number of championships with TNT as well. But there's also a lot of more pressure of being ready, being in shape, because the standard is also very different.
But I ask you now, Dom, dalawa yun, magkasunod na Philippine Cup. Etong dalawang nagtapat sa finals. Nakadalawa ang SMB over TNT as Ball knocks down the 3. What was the edge of SMB in those two series and the entry of ball manute ball fill that gap na kailangan.
If you look at those two conferences, a lot of injuries for TNT. Right? A number of guys were still coming off in that first one. Diba, wala pa sila. Kumbaga, hindi pa healthy yung mga big men nila. Then remember, Ray Batak got hurt. Then also Jason Castro got hurt. So the guards naman yung nasaktan. Pero ang sasaktan muna ni Ball Manute Ball.
Yung depensa.
Yung depensa.
That's a 3-point shot brought to you by Arena Plus Sportsbook.
So now you want to be able to get an import that will help you all around. Diba? Kita nga natin diba yung 38 and 40 points na pinakita niya. And then he blocks a number of shots, gets rebounds, and he's a crowd favorite.
Yeah.
So that's huge, right? So they're hoping that he will really be able to, help them win this championship. Remember, prior to those two San Miguel championships, dalawang championship doon, TNT, yung two prior conferences.
Oh yeah, remember? Absolutely. They were actually looking for a grand slam.
Yes.
And you know what? The odds that they battled para makaabot as Oftana knocks down a 3, yung naging journey ng TNT to make it to that third finals appearance, that was crazy.
And again, because of injuries, right?
Yes.
Because you play so many games, you play hard. Guys are going up against you with an extra gear. So kinakailangan talaga healthy. And if you're not healthy, if the other guys get hurt, kinakailangan next man up.
Ito si Jason Castro. This is the first time you're seeing TNT dito sa conference na to. He's back in the mix. Pogoy hits a 3. Nag-iinit na itong TNT. That's back-to-back threes that they hit. Ito yung nauna with Calvin Oftana hitting from the corner. And the very next play, again, it's Jason Castro making things happen from that same spot. RR Pugoy naman, 11 na ang lamang ng tropa.
That's our ears, okay? Junmar, once you get the ball, give him a screen. He might be open. Not. Asio, we'll be here.
And remember, if the guard penetrates against you, you have to guard the guard. And then field switch guard. There's another big guy there to protect.
Huwag na tayo, no need to foul down because ball is up there. Okay? Keep running it, keep running the defense. Defense, huh? Go.
In the end, it was just our defense. I thought we made a few key defensive stops towards the end when our offense was not clicking. We made some stops and got some easy baskets because of our defense. And for us, effort is a sacred value, and we can accept teams outplaying us, being better than us. That's why today, that was my only message. I said, I don't care what you do, how many shots you miss, as long as we outwork the other team.
Coach Shot Reyes, always the motivator, and he has worked his way into pushing this team to a 9-0 run. Dito sa first quarter.
Pero kita mo hinahanap ni Coach Shot Reyes, it's the effort, right?
Yeah.
Kasi there will be days na you can have a bad game, bad shooting night. And so far, the three-point shooting for TNT has been lined up. And they're knocking down those threes. Pero never ka dapat mawalan nung effort. Yun ang pinakaayaw ni Coach Shot. And, majority of the coaches.
What we've seen from TNT in the last few conferences, maybe even seasons, they've relied more and more on that three-point shot. But hindi pa nahuhulog in their first two games. They only shot 28.6%. Ngayon, 4 of 7 na.
Oh.
Nakaagaw ang SMB. Pero handa naman yung depensa ng tropa. Ball slow to get back. Maybe this is an opportunity for San Miguel. But they are not able to convert. Castro. Could this be another 3? Yes, it will be! 5 straight. Or 4 straight. Para sa TNT, nag-timeout na't lahat. Hindi pa rin nanlamig ang kamay ng tropa.
And just like that, it's a 17-point lead for TNT.
Perez na libre din sa labas. Comes up short. Ball with the board. Wow, 17. And then BGR!
If you look at it, John, they're just quicker. Quicker to the ball, quicker to the spots. And San Miguel doesn't seem like they're able to keep up just yet. TNT at least a step ahead.
And that's the 4th assist of Jason Castro. TNT has assisted. Oh, that would have been a highlight kung pumasok yung tira ni Junmar. Pinaikot si Ball. The big looking to answer back on the other side.
But very important for San Miguel to not get out of what they're doing, right? Defensively, they need to be able to make some stops. Get down. Really, it's the effort. Ito yung sinasabi natin. Get down. But they've been getting beat down that floor over and over again.
And TNT has blown this game open here in the first quarter. Lee finally able to stop the drought of SMB.
They're going to have to match the effort that TNT is showing right now.
That was a 23-1 run, though. Para sa Tropa. San Miguel took the lead 11-10. Tapos biglang nag-33-12 yung score. Here's Perez. Nanusutan si Ball.
She's got to use it. Na-experience ni Jason Castro.
Ngayon na lang ulit tayo nakakita ng kilikili layup. Lead is 17. Under a minute to go in the first. Pugoy kontra Perez. Atras ni RR. Getting past CJ.
Defensively, nobody helping right now for San Miguel. They really got to tighten this up.
And frustration's building up on the side of the Beermen. That foul was before the shot, and it will allow substitutions on both sides. Nieto coming in para kay Pugoy. Galinato para naman kay Ball, and Halanon will also check in for Jason Castro. Was very productive. Para naman sa SME, they also had 3 players in Trollano, Kahilig, and Tautua checking in. Grabe yung minutong nilaro ni Jason Castro. The impact he made on the field.
It's just so good to see him back. I mean, almost a year.
Yeah.
Right? Totoo.
And Dom, he didn't even take a single shot dun sa time that he was on the floor. But again, yung impact, just orchestrating the TNT offense to perfection.
And I like what Coach Chot is doing here. He's rotating his players like Lalo and Nieto. Now getting some burn this early in the game.
Munti ka makaagaw si Kahilig. Oftana. That's a miss. Rebounded by Miller. Nagmamadali, only 8 seconds to come up with something. The rookie out to Big Mo. Tautua hesitated, fall away. It doesn't fall in. And TNT standing on a 19-point lead at the end of the first 12 minutes. Grabe yung 3-point shooting nila Dom here in the first.
Well, you gotta love that ball movement. You gotta love how they're spreading the floor really well, getting to the spots. 5 of 9 from the 3-point area para dito sa TNT. Yun talaga eh. Yun yung nagpalobo, nagpamaga ng kalamangan nitong TNT, and that's why they have a 19-point lead because of them spreading the floor, because of them being unselfish, leading into easier shots and them making it.
And like Dom said, 35-16 ang score natin at the end of 1. TNT shooting a blistering 68% from the field.
Ikaw ba, alam mo ang tap-tap send at gumagamit ka ba ng tap-tap send?
Yes, tap-tap send ang ginagamit ko kapag nagpapadala ka sa Pilipinas. Kakapadala ko lang last.
natin how Bobol is passing to his teammates more. This is chemistry building within the team as they continue to practice and play more. Mas nagiging familiar daw sila sa laro ng isa't isa. There is also this emphasis coming from Coach Chot Reyes that the key is to have that balance. Ball getting his touches and the locals not forgetting their strengths. Don't be overly relying on ball. Dapat ready daw sila to create and take shots. And also we saw R.R. Pagoy play his first game back after a hamstring injury. He will be under minute restrictions. Judd and Bob.
So while there are players who are out, missing for both teams, meron namang mga nagbabalik. That's great news for TNT fans. Pagbabalik ni Pugoy. Thanks for that, Apple.
Pag sa atin ba, sa commentary, meron ring minute restriction.
Gusto nila tayo i-restrict, pero matigas ulo natin.
Di ba, pag matagal ka hindi nag-minute restriction ka muna.
Ito ang ayaw magpa-restrict ng TNT from their outside shooting.
No, but again, we're talking about injuries. Guys like R.R. Pugoy, because of the way he plays, susceptible to injury. But maganda dito kay R.R. Kita naman natin, he plays hurt even with a grade 2 strain doesn't matter. He will keep on playing. He wants to be able to give championship after championship leads at TNT.
The entrance of Heading here who gives us a 3-point shot. Hatid sa atin ng Arena Plus Sportsbook. It eased up. More than nakadisrupt, nakadali dun sa trabaho ng mga gwardya and the rotation of guards at TNT.
I think key acquisitions para sa TNT of recent, right? Heading, Alalon, Ferrer have played a number of times that iniba nila yung complexion ng game and which has led to wins for TNT. And then, sama mo pa yung sinabi natin kanina, diba, yung mga big men. Remember, BGR got hurt quite early when he moved to TNT and now he's back. Then you have Galinato, now getting into shape and getting a lot more minutes. Then you have, Poy Aram when he does come back as well.
That's right.
Paalala lang natin din, wala si Glenn Kubuntin, right? In this ball game, serving his second game suspension.
From that altercation with Jalen Johnson of Rain or Shine Lasso Painters, who, by the way, nung nag-serve ng suspension si Johnson, Rain or Shine was able to pull rug from under Meralco, going all Filipino, panalo pa rin over the Bolts.
And that's always difficult when you play a team without an import because meron talagang sense of complacency. And that's really what happened to Meralco in that ball game.
Nice pass back from Nieto to Heading. Hindi lang matatapos with a 3-pointer.
Jot, first quarter shooting, 65% from the field itong TNT, only 27 for San Miguel. 3-point shooting, 56%, like we said at the end, 56% for them and only 20% for the Beermen. And then itong mabigat, yung assists. 10 assists for TNT in the first quarter alone, 4 lang para sa San Miguel.
And dun sa 10 assists na yun, 13 lang yung made baskets ng TNT. So only 3 shots were not assisted on. Here's Trollano. Gustong atrasan yung mas maliit na halalon. Don kicks it out. Tautua will have to fire and will knock down a throw. Oh, check that. That's a long 2 for Big Mo. Pero 22 pa rin ang lamang netong TNT. They've completely taken the offense out of San Miguel for a very long stretch in the first quarter.
These two teams meeting quite early in the conference, right? If you think about it.
Will they meet again? That's always a question for TNT and SMB. Kasi parang
they're hoping sa playoffs na.
Yun mismo.
They're hoping sa playoffs na. And not in the quarters yet.
And usually nga, Dom, yung unang pagtatapat nitong ng mga teams na to, if and when they meet again at any point in the playoffs, ibang-iba na itsura ng mga teams. They're more comfortable with each other. Yung mga galing sa championship, medyo back in game rhythm and game form.
And that's always difficult, even for the coaching staff. Yung galing ka sa championship to be able to get the guys back. Because you also want them to rest because there's so much pressure. And, obviously, pressure leading up to the championship, then winning a championship, then everybody's happy. You get your rewards. But then, a week or two later, you have to practice again. And you have to switch it back on.
Sipin mo kung gaano karaming Pilipinong nangangarap makaabot sa PBA. Milyon-milyon, di ba? And ilan lang yung nakakarating dyan. Tapos pagdating dyan, tagalingan pa kayo kung sino mananalo. Oh, wow. Galinato had evil intentions. Hindi lang pumasok yung dakdak. Castro with the steal, and he's fouled by Tautua.
Stealing that basketball from the rookie.
Kanina pa rin kasi medyo nagkakabanggaan to si Kahilig at si Galinat, and perhaps that's why
Jason Castro taking the pocket.
He's still so fast.
And it comes with the experience, right? Anticipation. Alam niya kung nasan yung katawan, nasan yung bola, nasan yung paa. And for him to be able to make his move and go for that steal.
Castro, a plus 14 in the minutes that he's played here so far. 10 naman ng TNT. That's a foul called on Kahilig.
I don't think anybody's in a minus right now on TNT.
Posible. Meron actually, may isa. But kakapasok pa lang, Kevin Ferrer. Just because he's played less than 2 minutes pa lang. Pero tama kayo, that plus-minus sign, sometimes it tells you the story, pero minsan, it has to be in context with something else. As a number alone, mahirap siya ma-interpret. Nagawan, tapikan. It's gonna go back to SMB.
It's a good statistic to have. It's an indication whether you go left or right, right? Positive or negative lang yan. But then you have to look at the other things that comes along with it.
I like to pair it with minutes. If you're able to have a big plus in a short court time, then perhaps there's a reflection of...
And then you also look at who you're playing with.
Yes, totoo. Kasi kung kakampi mo si Bam Adebayo dun sa nag-83 siya, kasabay mo siya sa side. Swerte mo.
Tama.
Galinato, gustong banggain si Tautua. And perhaps Mo is one of the few players in the league na hindi kayang iurong ni Henry.
Bigat niyan si Mo. You can see guys who are trying to back him up just sometimes just bounce off.
But talk about Galinato, Dom, and how he's now getting more minutes to the sa front court rotation of TNT. Of course, we know Kenny Williams not with the lineup, not in the active lineup of TNT this conference. Pero dati hindi naman masyado nagagamit si Henry. Now he's a mainstay.
Mainstay also because of the injuries that happened. And then nung nabigyan siya ng opportunity, he was able to play good games, consistent. You know, the effort was there. He's getting rebounds. He made, a number of big plays, was able to score. So yung confidence niya tumataas. And now, there is confidence also in the coaching staff that when they call his name on the bench, that they can expect a certain type of performance.
Now, while we're on the topic of bigs para sa TNT, kung ikaw yung mga local bigs ng tropa, understanding that you have a manute ball in the lineup, what kind of complementary big ang kakailanganin ng isang imported ball?
If you look at the lineup of TNT, they always like to push the ball. They always like to shoot from the outside. And they spread the floor really well. So kinakailangan quick yung mga big men ng TNT. Meron ka na ba nakitang mabagal na big man na nandiyan, right? You need to be able to either shoot the outside shot or you can dive to the basket off those pick and roll because ang dami nilang slasher. Uma-atake sila, which will make the defense commit to the guy with the basketball. Then you slip to that open spot, you get points.
And speaking of TNT bigs, you don't have nga point Eram.
So kinakailangan, in essence, somebody also with a good basketball IQ to be able to understand what they're doing.
And I think they brought in someone who is a check mark in all those you mentioned, and that's Justin Chua. Recently played, of course, national team. Represented the Philippines. And now, signing a contract with TNT. And he was once part of that tropa as well before.
Madami na rin pinaglarong team.
Yeah. Most recently, bago tong pagbabalik niya sa PBA, most recently, Blackwater naglaro si Justin.
Prior to that was Phoenix, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right. Here's ball. Bakit pakiramdam ko kaya niya i-dunk mula doon?
Tsaka paano mo i-challenge pag inangat niya na eh, diba?
I mean, even in the NBA,
challenge it to konti lang nakakabot sa kanya dun eh.
All the more here, he gets that steal. Castro, nagtitimon. Gets it to heading. You want to move that ball around. Jason. The blur setting up heading from the corner. Natapik interest niya, but ball was there. Nothing on the first try. Galinato with a tip.
Di ba dapat siguro pag hawak pa lang ni Ball yung bola, tumatalong ka na eh. Because he's able to get that shot up, right? And makikita mo when he shoots, yung challenge, tapos na eh. Napitawan niya na yung bola eh. Look at this, that shot. See, by the time the other guys are able to get up for it, wala na. The ball has left his hands.
Galinato really providing quality minutes here. 3 points para kay Henry on top of 4 rebounds. At steady pa rin itong lamang ng TNT. It's at 23 right now.
Okay, Jimbar, okay. Down the screen. For CJ. Jimbar, down the screen. You have to stay here. Now down the screen here. Okay, CJ. Mas ka dito. And then ito. Cut. Doon. Cut here. Kailangan, you have to sprint, okay? You have to, okay? Simultaneously.
The best player of this game was Mike Nieto. Aside from Brandon, he had the highest plus-minus on the team, even higher than Ball. And the message that I'm sending to the team is, I don't care who you are, we're going to play the players who are putting in the effort. And that's why you saw that we started Jason, but then Jason was getting beat defensively, took him out right away.
Well, those are big words, diba, from Coach Shot. Clearly, si Coach Shot, the plus-minus column matters to him. But yes, Mike
Kasi
was
effort ang
yeah,
hinahanap niya, right?
a plus 12 in 21 minutes on the court. And the reason also why he got 21 minutes for someone who doesn't usually see that much time on the court is because he was doing positive things on the court.
Let's talk about something positive. Ano ba nangyari exactly 1 year ago?
What is that, though?
Nag-champion itong TNT. Right, it's a championship that they won in 2025. That was 2 in a row for the Commissioner's Cup. And remember, sino ang MVP of the finals?
Reyna Bata.
Ang bilis ng panahon, ano?
Grabe. And it was an injury, however, that prevented Ray from seeing action in the following conference, yung Philippine Cup na playoffs.
So, pero sabihin ko lang, iisipin nyo na ako yung magaling na nakahanap nun. Hindi. Binigay lang sa akin ni Mr. Fidel Mangono.
Oh, there you go. Thank
yung
you.
trivia na, thank you, Fidel. Great to be able to share that to all our viewers.
What a time, no, na laruin tong game ng San Miguel versus TNT dun pa sa championship anniversary. No goaltending ang ruling on that play. Pag may mga import, lalo na commissioners, humihirap yung trabaho ng mga referees sa technical.
Oh, for sure.
Dahil dyan sa goaltending review.
Alam mo, goaltending, not just that. Alam mo, for the referees also, you know, we keep talking about the players and athleticism. The referees need to keep up with the athleticism. They have to run back and forth with these players. And you gotta remember, majority of our referees are not that tall. So yung isang hakbang ng mga player, dalawa sa kanila yun. So kailangan mabilis sila tumakbo.
And yung conditioning that also comes into being a referee. Hindi po biro. And
hindi ka makakapito kung hinihingal ka eh.
Totoo. Or baka mapito mo nang hindi sadya. Pwede rin yun. Lee, gusto sana makiraan pero ang sikip dun sa ilalim. Marcus Lee is still very quiet. Only 5 points and 1 of 4. Ball on the other side now with 14 points and 6 of 9 shooting.
Good ball movement once again by TNT.
Palaki lang ng palaki itong laman ng TNT at 26 now. But Troliano is someone who could provide an offensive spark para sa Beermen.
Oh, talking about Troliano, him, Junmar Fajardo, these are the 2 guys that really helped out San Miguel in that previous game to be able to get that win.
I mean, we've already played About 19 minutes, Dom. More than 19 minutes and 24 points pala ang San Miguel.
Let's talk about points. Junmar Pardo against Converge, we showed that earlier, 27 points. CJ Perez against Converge, 24 points. Don Trollano against Converge, 18 points. Marshall Lassiter against Converge, 11 points. So that's 80 points na pinutos nung apat na manlalaro yun.
Look at that again. The two-way impact of ball. And grabe, iibahin niya talaga yung tira mo because biglang mawawala yung ring. Pagkita siya ng kamay.
Wala ka na makikita eh.
And then on the other side, wala ka namang magawa. Hindi mo matanggal yung ring sa vision niya.
So kaya kailangan unahan mo, di ba? You have to beat him down that floor.
And that's why teams are playing him physical, right?
Yes.
Lee, that's a strong move from Marcus.
Well, I really feel, after this ball game, I don't see Marcus Lee. We say it every game, diba, that the verdict is out. But they're gonna, after 3 games, they're gonna figure out, is he the right import for them?
How about ball? Simply unstoppable. Mapa-poste or sa ilalim, tira sa labas, or putting the ball on the floor. He has been scoring from everywhere. Sumasagot naman si Lee.
Talk about effort for Marcus Lee. He's got 9 points in the ball game right now.
Ito si Nava. Played his rookie season with San Miguel. Now going up against his former team. Perez. One-hander, floater falls in.
Such a pretty move by CJ Perez there.
That's only the 4th point of Perez. San Miguel is still shooting under 30%.
John, if you're San Miguel right now, you're down by 20. 3 minutes and 29 left. You want to just cut this lead down to something more manageable. 10, 12 points. Ideally single digits before the end of this quarter.
Well, they're getting stops now. Can they convert though? Bukas yung ilalim, but it's taken away by TNT. And that was a foul called on Perez. But that was actually good. Good for Wami Chongson.
Oo eh. Kasi nandun na si Ball sa babae.
It was a really bad matchup for Chongson na naiwan niya guarding ball.
What could he have done, to try and stop him?
Smile in the photo. Yun nga lang, penalty ng SMB.
Kung sa mga laro yan sa eskwelahan, di ba, yung mga laro-laro lang, baka pull down ni shorts. Di ba ganun yung mga ginagawa?
Wag mo na bigyan ng idea, do. Baka may gumawa at some point eh.
Tama naman.
Pero ang saya panoorin. We have to admit, the PBA lifting that height restriction for imports, and it has changed. Number 1, the game we're seeing on the floor. Number 2, yung diskarte ng mga teams. Nag-iba rin. In the imports that they got, iisa pa rin yung ang galing eh. Justin Brownlee na, towering na lahat ng imports. Pero siya, okay lang, dito lang ako. I'm still scoring.
He knows how to get his points, right? That's the key.
That's an offensive foul.
And kumbaga, di ba pinag-uusapan natin si Junmar Fajardo, kumbaga yung barometer. All the local teams will be able to find a local guy who can match up against Junmar. Pagdating sa import, it's Justin Brown.
Well, eto si Junmar, napapahirapan talaga sa ilalim. It's not just ball, it's also BGR. It's Galinato, it's the entire TNT Tropa. Nakinukuyog yung 9-time MVP, got called for an offensive foul there. It's going to be TNT basketball. They're up by 22.
Brandon CJ or Brandon to hold the mabuti. Anyway, ball is going to be right in the middle of the field. But ball, CJ is now aggressive. Umatak sa ngayon. Let's run our work. Let's get a back pick for ball. Okay. Well here. Roger. Andy. Okay.
Nakatutok pa rin po kayo sa PBA Season 50 Commissioner's Cup. Dito lang sa RPTV. And ito nga yung kwento ni Dom kanina. On this day, the TNT Tropang 5G back in 2025, defeated Barangay Ginebra in Game 7 of the Commissioner's Cup Finals. One of the most entertaining final series that we've had in recent history.
Yan yung pang back-to-back nila eh.
And just fond memories din syempre for TNT. And it also goes to show kung gaano kahirap talaga manalo ng Grand Slam.
Can you imagine back-to-back yun? And then itong San Miguel, back-to-back na rin.
Oo nga, no?
Diba?
Bilis na panahon.
Philippine Cup.
Pero dito, TNT in full control, up by 22 points. Pero if you think about it, though, alam mo yung second quarter scoring natin is 17-14. So it really just was that outburst ng TNT in that first quarter where they outscored SMB 35-16. Kaya komportable pa sila ngayon. Lassiter on the attack. Bigay kay Tiongson. Quick trigger from the corner. Doesn't fall in. Nava with a rebound. Here's ball behind the back to Pagoy. Another three on the way. Hindi papasok. But Nava with a steal there. Ball. Offensive foul called on Brandon Ganuelas-Rosser. Look at this one more time. Nagsumo wrestling sila ni Marcus Lee.
Well, he has a point though. Pareho sila nakahawak eh. Right?
Under 2 minutes left in the second quarter. Ang ganda ng blitz ni BGR.
Yes.
TNT. Extra pass now from the corner. That's a three.
You see the patience. And, you know, we kept saying na itong TNT, they're running really well. They've got into a rhythm here. Everybody's on the same page, same speed. Diba, they're filling the spots. Eh. They're getting to their spots.
Fajardo gustong atrasan si Ball. Tumulong si BGR and that's a block.
So far, the effort of TNT on both ends of the floor defensively. And then ito, that help defense of BGR getting that block on Jumar.
Tiongson shooting over the defense, no good. Ball now working with a double-double of 16 points and 10 boards. Tried to go deep in his bag. Tiongson going to Lee. Second miss dunk. And Marcus Lee, sisiguraduhin niya na yan.
Ang hirap din, no? Pag going import ng kalaban, tapos kalaban mo si Ball. Diba? Because the crowd is really cheering for him because he's got the skill, right? Guard-like skills eh.
Kaya magiging interesting pagkalaban nila Ginebra. Because we know Ginebra is the most loved PBA team, or the biggest support fan base, that's right. Pero everyone is cheering for Ball Manhood Ball. Every time naman kasi
it shows you the appreciation of the crowd of good basketball.
But TNT, great basketball yung nilaro nila here in the first half. Enough to give them a 25-point lead. Gustong bawasan ni Lassiter. Unable to get it. Fajardo fakes out Ball, but could not hit the three. Junmar only 1 for 8 from the field in the first half. But TNT dog behind. They're hot shooting from the field behind the dominance of Ball Manhood Ball. They're in control.
In control of the rhythm, of the effort, and just everything para dito sa TNT. And that's why they've got a huge 25-point lead. Sigurado pag-uusapan yan ng San Miguel.
alam mo ang tap-tap send at gumagamit ka ba ng tap-tap send?
Yes, tap-tap send ang ginagamit ko kapag nagpapadala ka sa Pilipinas. Kakapadala ko lang na.
Pilipinas Live is the home of Philippine volleyball. Watch your favorite volleyball leagues such as Spikers Turf, Premier Volleyball League, and the UAAP, all in one app. You can watch all these games and more live and on your preferred device. Download Pilipinas Live today from the App Store or Google Play Store and register for free.
Ikaw ba, alam mo ang tap-tap send at gumagamit ka ba ng tap-tap send?
Yes, tap-tap send ang ginagamit ko kapag nagpapadala ka sa Pilipinas. Kakapadala ko lang na.
How much do we love Pinoy sports? As a fan, we don't just watch the games.
The season for me, and I just owe it all to the work I put in.
We watch every part, every angle, every name. We talk about the plays, talk about it for days. We witness the big events, the thrilling moments, and relive the best seconds. We cherish the fears, the tears, at syempre, the cheers. How much do we love Pinoy sports? With all our heart, all-out passion. All the time. All with Pilipinas Live. Ang app natin para sa sports natin.
Mo ang tap-tap send at gumagamit ka ba ng tap-tap send?
Yes, tap-tap send ang ginagamit ko kapag nagpapadala ka sa Pilipinas. Kakapadala ko lang na.
Pilipinas Live is the home of Philippine volleyball. Watch your favorite volleyball leagues such as Spikers Turf, Premier Volleyball League, and the UAAP, all in one app. You can watch all these games and more live and on your preferred device. Download Pilipinas Live today from the App Store or Google Play Store and register for free.
And I'd like to welcome you to the PBA Season 50 Commissioner's Cup live chat on One Sports YouTube presented by TapTap. Nasa halftime na po tayo ng laban ng TNT at ng San Miguel. And San Miguel, or TNT rather, is leading at the half at the score of 57-32. That is a 25-point lead. Pero actually, throughout the whole first half, our biggest lead is 26 points. So itong TNT, they really set the tone early with their back-to-back threes back in the first quarter. Pero pag-usapan na rin natin kung ano yung stats na meron tayo dito, no? Syempre, yung pinaka na-highlight natin is the rebounds for TNT. With those rebounds, it is 31-24 ang ating count in favor of the Tropang 5G. With those rebounds, they were also able to create second chance points, and nakita natin yan, even if a 3-point is not going in, somebody will come into the paint and tip it in inside the basket. Pagdating naman sa assist, nandyan din, nakakalamang din ang TNT with their count being 15-7. For starter points naman, mas madami din at mas malaki yung kinontribute ng TNT with their current count at 44-26. So talagang lamang na lamang dito ang TNT, no? Again, just going back to what they did in the first half, or the first quarter rather, they had 4 straight 3 points there. And so that really set the tone with them getting this lead, a very comfortable lead, a thick cushion para sa kanila, and that is why they still dominated the second quarter. Pero pag-usapan natin ngayon, a few of our highlights here. Wami Johnson with that 3-point shot, babalik sa side ng TNT, ball again. Not only try from outside, but with a slam. Ball just dominating easily here in this game. Babalik sa corner. Off Tana. Again, just TNT. A lot of 3-point shots here, making it very, very hard for San Miguel to keep in step with this whole Tropang 5G team. CJ Perez, this time, getting a quick 2 over ball. At yan ang nangyari na first half. Come the second, again, TNT still hot and steady. Jordan Hething, again with a triple. Pero hindi lang siya. Look at those extra passes. Ball with it easy 2. That is over Junmar Fajardo this time. Ball again, still dominating here. A strong move from Marcus Lee. Marcus Lee, medyo kulang, ano? Talagang inaasahan yung import dito ng SMB to help out the whole squad. But again, TNT just... everyone is scoring here, and leading the way is Ball again with an easy jumper against Marcus Lee. And so far, yung mga stats na nakita natin, SMB scoring under 30% right now, and its frustration is piling up for the side of the Beermen. At isang napansin pa natin, their scoring, parang it takes them about 1 to 2 minutes to score 1 or 2 points. Kaya naman talagang hirap na hirap sila dito. Pero ang kailangan natin pag-usapan dito is a contribution of the big man. Pakita natin. Ball again, having 16 points, 10 rebounds. Si Junmar Fajardo on the other hand, having 4 points and 7 rebounds. Sa TNT naman, that was in the first quarter. Si Ball has a total of 16 points, followed by Calvin Oftana with 10 points, Brandon Ganuelas Rosser with 7. Sa side ng San Miguel, you have Marcus Lee with 11 points, followed by Wami Johnson with 5, and Junmar Fajardo with 4 points. So again, pag-usapan natin, ano ba nakikita nyo sa laban na to? What have you observed so far? Sino nga ba ang mas malakas? Sino ang mas effective with their plays, with their chemistry inside the court? At ibabato ko lang ulit yung question natin for the night. That is, who is the best big man on the floor right now? I see several reactions online, kaya batiin rin muna natin yung ating mga yung ating mga viewers dito. Unahin natin si Chris Bulatag, 8308, watching from Japan. San Miguel daw siya, cheering for Junmar Fajardo. Watching from UAE, si Johnny Orvida. Watching from Japan. Nasaan ba yung watching from Lucena, rather, GVBGS57. Ang daming nanonood sa atin from all around the world. Kaya naman, sa mga kapatid po natin na OFW, again, ito pong paalala namin para sa inyo, para sa mabilis, safe, at sulit na padalove to the Philippines. Download Tap Send, the trusted remittance best friend of OFWs worldwide. Ano bang pinakamaganda about Tap Send? It is, of course, digital money transfer. It means that you don't have to go outside your house. You can do all your banking errands at the comfort of your own home. At syempre, no transfer fee to mobile banks and e-wallets. Ibig sabihin, kung kayo po ay talagang strict sa inyong budget, Every peso will go to your family members, to your loved ones, at hindi na po kailangan i-separate budget pa yung mga pambayad dun sa digital bank. And of course, for the latest in the world of sports, please follow One Sports on YouTube, Facebook, X, Reddit, Instagram, and TikTok. Okay, madami po tayong pag-uusapan. Tutok lang kayo, magbabalik po kami.
Ikaw ba, alam mo ang tap-tap send at gumagamit ka ba ng tap-tap send?
Yes, tap-tap send ang ginagamit ko kapag nagpapadala ka sa Pilipinas. Kakapadala ko lang last.
Pilipinas Live is the home of Philippine volleyball. Watch your favorite volleyball leagues such as Spikers Turf, Premier Volleyball League, and the UAAP, all in one app. You can watch all these games and more live and on your preferred device. Download Pilipinas Live today from the App Store or Google Play Store and register for free.
Tap-tap send at gumagamit ka ba ng tap-tap send?
Yes, tap-tap send ang ginagamit ko kapag nagpapadala ka sa Pilipinas. Kakapadala ko lang last.
Pilipinas Live is the home of Philippine volleyball. Watch your favorite volleyball leagues such as Spikers Turf, Premier Volleyball League, and the UAAP, all in one app. You can watch all these games and more live and on your preferred device. Download Pilipinas Live today from the App Store or Google Play Store and register for free.
Ikaw ba, alam mo ang tap-tap send at gumagamit ka ba ng tap-tap send?
Yes, tap-tap send ang ginagamit ko kapag nagpapadala ka sa Pilipinas. Kakapadala ko lang last.
How much do we love Pinoy sports? As a fan, we don't just watch the games.
The season for me, and I just owe it all to the work I put in.
We watch every part, every angle, every name. We talk about the plays. Talk about it for days. We witness the big events, the thrilling moments, and relive the best seconds. We cherish the fears, the tears, at syempre, the cheers. How much do we love Pinoy sports? With all our heart, all-out passion. All the time. All with Pilipinas Live. Ang app natin para sa sports natin.
Hello mga ka-PBA and welcome back to our live chat on One Sports on YouTube presented by TapTap. Again, nasa halftime po tayo ng laban ng TNT kontra San Miguel and TNT leading at the score of 57-32. Oras na para basahin naman ang inyong mga reaction. Madaming negative, madaming positive, pero the game is starting right now, so balik muna tayo sa laban.
Titingnan nila kung dapat bang magkaroon ng goaltending on ball. And of course, ball saying, wala. Referees will look anyway. There was that foul. That doesn't look like a goal there.
Sarap pagkakampiyon mo si ball. That's siyang help side defender.
That's true. And parang what we're noticing, Dom, nagpapalitan sila ni BGR. Been very effective so far. Marcus Lee at the line. That gives us, this gives us a chance to send it over to Apple.
John Tendon, kung titignan yung plus-minus ng SME, lahat daw minus. Mukhang na-starstruck dito kay ball manute ball. Yung normal nilang ginagawa, hindi nila magawa. There is that intimidation factor. So the hope here of Coach Leo Austria is that they settle down in the second half and start playing Beermen basketball. Ang TNT naman, even with a big lead, there's always cause for concern pagkalaban daw ang San Miguel. Una na dyan, their key players haven't really had a good offensive night. So the warning is they will try to be more aggressive here in the second half. So they cannot take it easy on them. Back to you, Jonathan.
Thank you so much, Apple. TNT here. Ball had to put it up. Doesn't work. Nampatak. Labanan ng rebound. Ball gets it. And ball off the glass. Slams it home.
That was on purpose. On purpose yan, Baray ball. Threw it up there. He knew that he wasn't going to get the shot up. Followed that basketball. Got the rebound and the 2 points.
He's just getting everything he wants. Hard na nakakuha ng bola. Junmar will reset. Perez for 3. Bottom of the net. Isa pa yan, Dom, na kailangan ng SMB na makagawa. CJ only with 4 points in the first half. Knocks down his first 3.
Well, if you look at itong San Miguel right now, ang nakakaputos pa lang talaga, pinakita natin, di ba? Itong si Marcus Lee with 13 points, and you have Perez with 7. Kwame Chongson had a good start in the first quarter with 6.
But they have to find a way to slow down ball.
Especially once he has his hands on that basketball and pinapadribble mo, he's able to create.
Yun yung doon nagiging unfair, di ba? How comfortable he is putting the ball on the floor at 7'3". Lee off the glass, that's good. Kung San Miguel fan ka, you like the assertiveness you're seeing from Marcus Lee.
And his best game so far.
He was silent. It was a silent 4-point output against Titan Ultra. Against Converge, had 12 points. Ngayon meron ng 15 pero matatawagan siya ng foul. Look at this goal.
Alam niya na mintis na hindi papasok. So, binaton na lang niya sa board. May rebound na siya. May 2 points pa. Slam dunk pa.
But actually, yun ang ganda ng basa ni Wami nung una. No? Kaya hindi niya naangat ng malinis.
Good anticipation by Wami Chongson.
Ang problema yung after doon.
Remember, the question is, anong magagawa ni Wami? Yun ang magagawa niya. Talaga, that was the best that he could do without fouling. Right? Make him change his shot. Made him miss it. But he needed help to be able to get that rebound.
38 points in his PBA debut. Scored 40 in the second game. Resulted to a win. Ngayon, meron ng 22. Question is, hanggang saan aabot? Hanggang saan man lang siya mag-stay on the court? Because if this continues to be like this, it's a 24-point bubble for TNT right now. Baka di na masyado magtagal. That was a Kobe assist from CJ Perez.
Dito man nagtatawanan ito si CJ Perez siya si Manute Ball.
Ball. A floater from a 7'3" beanstalk doesn't fall in. Nieto giving him the foul. A foul like that, Dom, for conversation's purpose, ito muna, tingnan muna natin. Lahat na ginawa ni CJ. Pinoy step. Wala eh. And then fake. Lahat.
Sobrang haba talaga eh.
The discipline was there as well.
And it's hard to beat him off like 2 steps. Right? You need more. Kasi kailangan may buwelo ka eh. So you need more space.
Lee gets to the rebound. Gives it to Fajardo. Naubusan ng espasyo si Junmar. Had to pass it off na agaw naman. Nieto found himself open. No good. Nambata with a rebound. Reset to TNT.
Getting a number of rebounds already.
A department that TNT currently is lording over. BGR makakasungkit ng foul kay Junmar.
If the defense will focus on ball, movement ball, it will be easier for the other guys, the locals, para sa TNT, to be able to get better looks and easier shots.
Si Brandon Ganuelas Rosso may 7 points. He has 3 rebounds, may 1 steal, may 2 blocks. All-around game for him. And against NLEX, maganda rin pinakita nito.
14 points, 3 of 4 from that 3-point area, 4 rebounds. And that, kompleto yung laro nitong si BGR. What you really, I think, for him to really reach his optimal level, yung maturity niya with the emotions that he carries. Because there are times that he gets into foul trouble very early because of the emotions. But, he's ganun siya eh.
The foul called on Ball.
Ang sinasabi ni Paul Manupol, tinulak siya papunta dito kay CJ Perez. So they're gonna challenge it.
Coach Chot using his challenge right now. By the way, we want to send our thoughts and prayers to the Reyes family. Coach Chot's mother passed away about a week ago.
And they have a point there. You can see that Junmar Fajardo had his hand behind him. Tanong dyan is how the referees will see it.
Yeah.
Nandun lang or talagang tinulak siya papunta doon because yung contact na yun.
Will it eventually be overturned to a foul on Junmar is also a question. Let's hear from our official.
After the review, the foul call on Ball is reversed. The foul call, offensive foul on Junmar Fajardo. Therefore, the challenge of TNT 5G is successful.
So, there it is. Straight from crew chief Romel Gruta, yun mismo yung hinihingi ng TNT. Dahil tinulak daw ni Junmar si Ball. And that also, Dom, is a recent introduction. This season lang in-introduce yan na pwede maging foul on a different player. Dati kasi ang re-review lang, foul ba or hindi?
Yes.
Ngayon, kumbaga, humahaba yung narrative. Bakit ba na? Bakit niya ba na?
Yung cause.
Yes, mismo. Optana. Naibigay pa kay BGR. Hindi na pumasok yung una on the second try. Hindi na magmimintis.
Again, TNT still in control of this ball game because of the effort that they're showing.
Lee slams it home. Things have slowed down para sa TNT, but etong San Miguel still unable to keep up. Dahil nga
wala pang run.
Oh,
right. There hasn't been a run. I mean, they're basically exchanging baskets.
Laki rin kasi Doc ng run ng una ng first quarter.
What was your count? 20-1?
23-1.
23-1.
So ito yung kaninang two-man game between Perez and Lee. Now, if you're Marcus Lee, it really is high time for you to be able to show yung
Everything.
Talagang yung 100%.
You have to show everything. If you're Marco C, everything that you can to try to get your team back in this basketball game.
We looked at other teams and imports around the league. Si Nuni Omot actually hindi nga, he wasn't bad, di ba? He was putting up very strong stat lines, but it wasn't resulting to wins.
That, and I think they felt that he may not have been 100%. Right? In shape, or there's some talks about him coming off an injury.
Yongson open from the outside. Hindi pa rin papasok. That was wide open, Dom.
And you know, like you said, mananansya ka eh. Kinakailangan yung import mo. The level of your import has to be at the same level of the imports of the opposing teams. Or obviously you want them to be the best, right? Na makakuha ka ng best import. If not, something comparable.
Is it skill level? Alam natin yung height, iba. But the skill level, di ba? How different are the crop of imports in this conference?
Definitely skill level is a consideration. And then yung fit sa team. Diba? Importante yan. Siyempre, kinakailangan may buy-in yung mga locals. Kailangan yung mga locals believe dun sa import. Pag ang locals hindi believe dun sa import at pakiramdam nilang hindi mananalo, napakahirap i-motivate.
That is very true. Kasi there's a reason kung bakit reinforcement ang tawag dyan sa mga yan.
Exactly. And that's why, we've seen so many changes. In each conference. Wala pa tayong nakita isang conference, import-laden conference, na hindi nagpalit ng import, right?
That's true. Sobrang, I don't remember it happening. But Ball Manut Ball is not giving TNT any reasons to consider any other replacement dahil napakaganda ng pinapakita niya dito.
He can put the ball on the floor and just that little floater.
And to think that he wasn't even their first choice exactly. Ang gusto talaga ng TNT, if everything went smoothly, ito retain yung kanilang parang naging resident import na. And Ronde Hollis Jefferson, the only guy, the only import who has denied Justin Brownlee a championship in the PBA. Pero,
yun yung plano nila, di ba?
Yeah.
Yung plano nila. RHJ, they basically clocked him in for a year, right? But suffering from that Achilles tendon tear.
And alam mo, kahit si RHJ, I know it broke his heart dahil magkasama kayo, di ba? I was very fortunate to be a part of the RHJ on tour dahil when he wasn't playing, dahil Philippine Cup pa nun, back-to-back na Philippine Cup, he went across different provinces and cities around the Philippines, helping us groom the next generation of Filipino hoopers.
Pinag-demo ka rin ba niya?
Tumanggi ako, baka ma-expose tayo. Junmar, tatlo na, kumuyog! There's that 9-time MVP Kraken.
That's what you need. You need those hustle plays when things aren't going all that well. And you can see kung paano naiilang yung mga players. They're really trying to protect that basketball against the ball. And if there will be a miss. You go to that offensive board, you go for that offensive rebound and try to get that.
Ball and Ross talking on a TNT bench. Doon na to si Ball ng kanyang mga kampi.
That's the way we have to run, okay? Every transition natin, there's no opportunity, primary, secondary. It's all pick and roll. Everybody should be in the right spot. Now, this is the key. When you set up the screen, don't stay longer. Once your man is nag-heads, you have to roll right away. He will follow. This guy will be having a clear
After
relay.
losing their opening game, aminado si Junmar Fajardo that there is a need for him to be more aggressive and assertive of his presence. Kaya naman, kung napansin nyo, mas marami yung attempts niya last game. And hinahanap din daw talaga siya ng kanyang mga teammates. Now, against TNT, sabi niya kailangan mas may effort pa daw talaga na makapagsabayan o makipagsabayan pagdating sa takbuhan. And again, sa ball, early work daw talaga. Pag nakakuha na ng bola si ball, sa malamang makakashoot ito. So, dapat denial ang gawin nito ni Junmar. Balik sa inyo.
Thank you, Apple, for that report. Alam mo, I think San Miguel and Junmar, alam naman yata nila rin what needs to be done against ball. It's just that it's so hard when you're actually on the court with him. Ito nga si Junmar, you know, the 9-time MVP is starting to look a little bit human in this game.
One thing's for sure. Ball likes to talk.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And engage in conversation, not just with his teammates, but with the opposing team and pretty much the Coliseum. He likes it. Right?
Mali yata yung napuntahan niyang bench kanina ng timeout. si Chris Ross yung kausap niya sa San Miguel side. You know that Chris Ross also has that ability to start a conversation and maybe get under.
Matagal sila mag-uusap niyan.
Ay, siguro. Diba? Baka magka-text pa yan mamayang gabi. Junmar, nagmala point guard na rin, but eventually giving it up to CJ. Dong, same narrative as the second quarter. Actually, lamang pa ang San Miguel dito sa third quarter, 17-12.
Well, you give credit also to TNT na they're not letting their guard down, right? Yun yung sinabi ni Apple kanina that Coach Trot and the staff was saying to them that, you know San Miguel, they can have a big quarter. They can have 37, 40 points in one quarter.
Junmar trying to get position underneath. Lassiter dancing with the defense, no good. Ball, another rebound. 15 boards. Here's Ball. Barreling in, offensive foul called on Ball.
They're probably gonna challenge this call.
Tama yung sabi mo, i-challenge agad ni Coach Chot. He won his challenge earlier. Oh, but Coach Chot trying to wave off that challenge. What do you think?
I think the referee's calls will stick.
So officially, naipito na yung challenge. Head coaching challenge. Alam mo minsan yung conviction ng coach in their challenge, makikita mo kung gaano kalaki yung TV nila. 65-inch. It's an iPhone lang eh. But to your point, and to what Apple also mentioned earlier, nararamdaman din ng TNT na there's some momentum shifting towards the other side. Ball and Ross still talking.
Alam mo sinasabi ni Ball?
The defensive player established the legal guarding position. The offensive foul call on Ball stay. Therefore, the talents of TNT 5G is not successful.
Ang tinuturo, kausap pa rin ni Chris Ross itong si Ball Manutbol. Ang tinuturo niya, tingnan mo yung scoreboard. Right? That the TNT is up by 21.
That's gonna be a fun chit-chatter.
But imagine the future. Diba? Pag magtagpo ulit itong dalawang koponan na doon. By that time, Chris Ross would be playing already. Right?
Oh, yeah. Warning on Chris Ross for improper bench decorum. And assistant coach Chris Ross, by the way. Banggaan, dalawang magkakampi. Trollano against Oftana, being chased. Don, nakilusot. No good. Fajardo on the second drive.
Oh, he's working hard now.
Look at this.
Fighting for that rebound, getting that rebound, getting the 2 points and the foul.
Is there something different, Dom, na ginagawa ng San Miguel in the paint here in the third?
Well, now that after they missed those shots, they're actually going for that offensive rebound. Kung nakita natin ng first 2 quarters, not as aggressive. So TNT would just get that defensive rebound and move on into their offense.
SMB within 19. Ball. Gustong umatake. Leaves it short. Fajardo nakakuha ng rebound. And SMB will try to run. There's a handoff to Perez. CJ breaks down the defense and scores.
Nakita niya agad walang import doon sa loob para dito sa TNT. Much easier look to the basket for CJ Perez.
Could this be that run na inaabangan ng mga SMB fans? Perez matatawagan ng foul. They're in the penalty. So free throws yan para kay Nava. Look at this. The bigs also helping out, Dom, in opening the lane para kay CJ.
And also, they have to keep the other bigs busy. Diba? They have to keep guys like Ball and Calinato busy para hindi makatulong dun sa loob.
It's only this stretch in the third quarter na parang nagkaroon ng solid flow yung offense ng SMB.
And with a purpose, it's the energy, right? Nakita mo yung effort. Pinag-usapan natin kanina, even in the interview with Coach Trot, sinasabi niya hinihingi lang niya effort. And San Miguel, for sure, pinag-usapan niya at the half. Because they were getting beat, they were getting outworked and out-hustled. But here in the second part of this third quarter, you know, they've got the upper hand in terms of the effort.
Pero laki lang talaga nung naipundar na lamang na itong TNT back in the first quarter. If you're just joining us, yung lamang po ng TNT after the opening period was 35-16. Trollano from downtown. That does not work. Ball with a rebound. At siya na rin ang magbababa. What luxury Coach Chot has with his import. Coast-to-coast delivery for Ball, and he stares down Ross. A block. Lassiter could not get the three. And Ball is loving every bit of the PBA.
And you gotta love, and you can really feel the tension between these two teams.
Kita mo yung haba ng stare down doon kay Chris Ross. And then, si Trollano yung nasapan niya, but he went straight at Ross to let si Ross know that he got that big block. They're not done over on the San Miguel bench.
Labasan na ng resume yata eh. Di ba?
Lee gets a throw down there. To your point again, the bigs helping out open that lane.
You need to be able to do that because you have to take him away for him to be able to challenge. And we're talking about ball with ball.
19 points para sa import ng SMB. Under 3 minutes left. Oftana. Ganda ng tapik ni Calinato. Diretso kay Castro. And that's a foul on Lassiter. Titingnan pa nila kung landing spot. There's that seal screen from Jumar. And San Miguel will need more plays like that. And less of this.
Ayun.
Ay, hindi pala si Lassiter. It was Lee.
Pareho naman L.
Pero mabigat din doon pag kailangan umupo ng 3 minutes kung sakali, ha?
And he's been playing, you know, his best basketball so far from what we've seen.
And that's going to add on to the problems of SMB. They'll have to play the rest of the third, a little bit of the fourth, without an import. Lamang pa rin dito ang tropa. We'll be right back. This is the crowd inside the Smart Araneta Coliseum. We always love to have all our PBA fans join us kung nasa man ang venue. And let's face it, Dom, daming mga nagpupuntahan para rin makita si Ball. But on April 8th, you can celebrate with us. Get your free tickets at the main entrance of the Nino Aquino Stadium for free. So first come, first serve po yan. Again, celebrating anniversary of the PBA.
Good sized Saturday crowd here watching these two teams, San Miguel and TNT. The score may not show, pero grabbing intensity.
Kita mo naman doon stat line ni Ball. 27 and 17. And he's also taken much less shots compared to his first two games kasi halos mag 40 shots siya per game in the first two games. Still can get to that number.
Ang dami pa Dami oras.
Could there be a hack, a ball? Eventually, the 0 for 2 on that rim. Looks like TNT will also play the rest of the third quarter without an import. Could be an opening para sa SMB.
Hey, prior to this ball game, he was shooting 9 of 20 from the free throw line. 45%. Could be the idea.
Pero nasasaktan yung San Miguel dun sa maagang penalty situation. Junmar asking to stay in. Papalitan dapat siya ni Brodiel.
Ilan lang mga player ang pwedeng gumawa nun. Yung papalitan ka dapat na sasabihin mo na sige, mamayahan na lang.
Well, gusto dumiin ni Junmar kasi wala si Ball on the floor. We're taking a look at the body language of Fajardo as he walks back on the bench.
Opportunity kasi pa makakuha ng 6-0 run, 8-0 run.
Na alam natin in today's PBA, Tom, a game of runs can really change.
Oh, yeah.
Kahit pa bumalik si Ball, but with momentum switching, difference maker. And John looking for Lassiter. Arcio knocks down the jumper over Chua.
And then, you make a number of good plays here. Cut it down to 14 points. Completely different.
Here's Castro. Now, Jason hasn't scored. He hasn't even attempted, but he's been making winning plays. At yan din ang binigay ni Chua with a three-point play opportunity.
Kakapasok pa lang itong si Justin Chua right away. Putting the ball on the floor. Spinning to the basket, getting the foul and the basket. But I have to say, he's probably got the most colorful shoes right now on the floor.
Parang that is true. Pero ang dami rin makukulay ngayon. Yeah, I like that.
Diba?
Ano shining, shimmering, splendid yung sapatos ni Justin. Mo, I thought that pass was intended for Sio. Napunta naman kay Lassiter. Now it's with Tautua. And guess who made that stop possible? The blur, Jason Castro. Alam mo, I was talking to one of TNT's strength and conditioning coaches, Coach Martin Alido. I asked him, Coach, sinong na-surprise ka na, well, your hardest worker on the team? And he said, it's still Jason Castro. Up till now.
That's just testament to the career that he has and everything that he's gotten to. Best guard in Asia lang naman.
Twice, no? And alam mo naman si Jason, di ba? He's a leader, but he's not exactly the most vocal. Ngayon niya, mas vocal na, but he leads by example. At parte yun, being the one who shows up earliest, leaves after everyone has left, and just puts...
Alam mo, parang si Magumarjon lang yun. Pero kung si Jason Castro sa practice, si Magu sa inuman.
Hindi, tsaka si Magu kasi umiiwas lang sa coating. As we talk about Castro, he drills a three-pointer, giving TNT another 25-point lead. Perez. They wanted to go inside to Brunyan. Nabasa na depensa ng TNT. Oh, was that a 4-point shot?
It looks like it. Looks like he was behind that line.
I stand corrected. I said it was a 3. It was a 4-pointer mula kay Castro. Trollano. Ito rin si Don ang galing kumuha ng foul.
Yes. Yan ang maganda kay Trollano kasi may tira sa labas. He can attack left, he can attack right, he can, go back towards the basket. He's just got a lot of different moves to be able to get those points on the board.
Alam mo, if you look at the roster of San Miguel, yung roster lang, mga pangalan lang, baka hindi mo isipin na si Don Trollano yung magiging third best scorer in the Philippine Cup. After Fajardo and Perez.
Especially coming off the bench.
That's true. But he has improved leaps and bounds. Minsan din niya naglaro para sa TNT. Dumaan sa Rain or Shine, Blackwater, Enlex, Ostana. He got the better of Trollano that time. Ostana with a relatively quiet 11 points. Because we know that for a couple of conferences, maybe 2 seasons ago, lumalaban yan lagi for the scoring champion. Sila ni Arvin Tolentini nagbabakbakan lagi for that title.
But the good thing is when you've got a complete lineup, yung pressure hindi mo na kailangan. You don't have to consistently score in the 20s, right? If you're off target. Pero yung numbers niya, minutes on the floor, it's more or less still the same.
Kautua will try and will not hit it. So after 3 quarters, TNT still comfortably ahead by 25 points over the Beermen. We'll bring the 4th quarter in just a bit.
Ikaw ba, alam mo ang tap-tap send at gumagamit ka ba ng tap-tap send?
Yes, tap-tap send ang ginagamit ko kapag nagpapadala ka sa Pilipinas. Kakapadala ko lang last.
Back inside the Smart Araneta Coliseum, it's been all TNT so far. Perimeter points. Ito yung nag-break ng game open back in the first quarter because TNT was just hitting their 3-pointers. They hit 4 in a row. Yun talaga yung nagbigay ng momentum sa kanila and allowed them to rush out to a big, big lead in terms of moving that ball. Well, in the first half, in the first quarter, 8 out of the 10 made field goals ng TNT were assisted on. They were really moving that ball so fluidly. And dumadali talaga ang buhay when you have such a dominant force like Ball. 27 points and 17 rebounds as we enter the 4th quarter. And Marcus Lee playing his best defensive game in his very young PBA stint. Pero hindi pa rin sapat para matapatan yung higante ng tropa.
And at saka lalo na yung effect niya on the floor, right? When you see Ball, what he can do. Marcos C, we've only seen him create his shot once. Eh, Ball, diba halos lahat eh. And he can get it off for rebound and just keep on pushing that basketball.
And you know what's crazy, Dom? Yes, he's 7'3". Kayang-kayang maging, diba, to just raise his hand and tower over everyone. Pero minsan yan, hindi niya kailangan umabot sa paint. He has a floater, a pull-up jumper.
And that's why it's more difficult to stop him. And he's got the skills to dribble that basketball. Hindi mo basta-basta maaagawan.
Trollano with a 3-pointer. Answering yung foot back kanina. Ni Galinato. Aurin. Was able to kick it out to Oftana, who answers with his own three.
Whenever there seems like some momentum going to San Miguel, the TNT may sagot.
Tautua.
That could be an offensive foul.
Oh, that's a blocking foul or a pull from Chua. Tingnan ulit natin, Tana. A three-point shot na hatid sa atin ng Arena Plus Sportsbook. How about Calvin Oftana, Dom? 16 points.
Sabi mo sa'yo kanina, hindi ganun kadami.
Oh, nga, biglang dumami. Pero yung hindi marami, yung attempts niya. 7 attempts lang.
And that's what we were talking about, right? When you're playing with a strong team, your efficiency has to go up. Kasi hindi ganun kadami yung tira na makukuha mo eh. And when you're able to get those shots, you have to make them, 70% of the time. Lalo na pag-open.
And when you have an import na makikita mong sobrang dominant, sobrang talented, tumataas din yung kumpiyansa mo eh.
Oh, for sure. Again, it's motivation that magaling yung import nyo because alam mo mas malaki chance na manalo kayo.
Aurin, susubok din ang tira sa labas. That also goes in. Ganitong-ganito, lumobo yung lamang ng TNT kanina.
And if you're San Miguel, you need to be able to challenge those outside shots.
Sabi mo nga, ito yung may mangyayari sa San Miguel na something good. Bigla may sagot yung TNT. 2-3 na si Don Troniano here in the fourth quarter, pero pareho may binalik yung TNT. Ito si Aurin with a 3-point shot brought to you by Arena Plus Sportsbook. Ba, hindi pa tapos si Ball. He checks back in. Apple, anong balita dyan?
Jut and Dom, expected na eh. Ball's gonna score. He's gonna make things happen for TNT. Pero yung unexpected production from the guys like Nava, even Aurin kanina and Chua, pinapabayaan nitong Beermen. Malaki na nga yung problema nila. Lalo pa tuloy lumaki. Now they're just getting points off transition. So they have to continue to pick up the pace, try to run, get some stops, and not just exchange baskets with TNT back here.
And lalo pang lumalaki yung problema ng San Miguel because Ball is back on the floor and he's back to his scoring ways.
Yung pagbalik nitong si Ball sa floor, Coach Shot really wants to try to make and finish this ball game already. Maybe at about the 6-minute mark.
Yeah, possibly, no?
He's going for it.
Lee. Wow. That was a floater over Ball. So the first 20-point output of Marcus Lee here in the PBA, but it still is a big question mark, no? Even yung magiging fate niya eventually as Castro fouls Perez in the backcourt. Kanina pa nagkwekwentuhan si Ball at si Lee. It's so interesting. Kung malaman sana kung anong pinagkikwentuhan nila. Pero mas interested pa rin ako sa kwentuhang Ball at Ross.
Ay, oo. At kung, di ba, minsan kasi, pag medyo malayo kayo, baka the signals or what you're trying to say, baka hindi masyadong makuha.
Yeah, that is true. Perez.
Like yung kay Ball, nakita mo, he was pointing at the scoreboard going 2-1, so, and they were up at 21 by that time. Pero si Chris Ross, nung pinapakita rin kanina, he was...
May binibilang
May binibilang siya eh. Kaya pakiramdam ko, labasan na ng resume. Diba? Ito ang pinanalo kong championship. Diba?
Yan sila Chris. I'll have to double check pero definitely double figures in championships, might be at around 12 already. Pantay-pantay yan eh. Sila Ross, Lassiter, Fajardo. TNT now in penalty with 8:41 left in the fourth. 12-time champion. Sina Ross. A foul again. That will send SMB to the line.
Already in penalty. At itong San Miguel naman, wala pang foul.
We could be in for a long fourth quarter, but makapag-capitalize kaya yung San Miguel because Perez misses that first free throw.
Well, 26 points, right? That's a lot. Pero itong San Miguel, like we said, they can string up a number of points, but it's really the defense. They need to be able to make stops.
Perez only with 11 points, 4 of 12 from the field. Ang bata. Bigay kay BGR. Oh, he slams it over Lian Fajardo.
And then also, because of them spreading out that floor well, hindi ka makaka-help out kung ito yung big man ng San Miguel. Because that would have left ball open.
That's true.
Right? And you know BGR has the ability to pass that basketball.
And earlier in this coverage, I did ask you kung ano yung kakailanganin ng TNT local bigs to complement ball. And I think BGR has given us the blueprint for what that role should look like.
You need to be able to read the situation, react to it, and put yourself in a good situation, meaning offensive rebound, open spot.
Yun nga lang, isa rin nabanggit mo kanina is keeping emotions in check. BGR gets slapped to the technical, and that's going to be a San Miguel free throw when we return from this timeout. The next 3 games of San Miguel, they do have the still winless Macau Black Knights coming up next, March 31. Barangay Ginebra, Taino siya naman, yung dalawang kasunod.
But the Macau Black Knights, you know, getting closer and closer to getting their win.
Dito, tingnan muna natin sa kabilang side. Meralco, Terra Firma, Blackwater. Tatlong makakatapat ng TNT over their next 3 games. And tomorrow is your Super Bowl Sunday. Titan Ultra versus Meralco Balls in the first game. Titan, of course, coming out of that big win over SMB. Tapos Converge versus Barangay Ginebra.
I don't think anybody expected Converge to start out this way.
For sure, for sure. Dahil sa
Sa ganda ng pinakita nila, di ba? And you can see that because of the team that they built, ang dami ring mga fans for Converge. And you know, you'll gain more fans if you keep winning games.
Yan. I did mention this. Wala pa tayong PBA League Pass, but we call may tinatawag tayong League Pass team, di ba? Na parang kung isa lang ang papanoorin mong team for the entire season, what is that? And that could be Converge if you want fun basketball, entertaining basketball.
Right? Ang daming bago. You know, they play with a lot of energy.
But nasasaktan din sila, wala yung rookie nila eh. And Juan Gomez Del Llano has been sidelined. Mikey Williams, hinahanap pa yung footing niya. And maybe game timing and game shape.
For sure.
Tagal-tagal ding nawala, nabakante. But
dami ring moving pieces di ba? So you need to be able to find that rhythm din yan di ba? Yung magkaamuyan na kayo, figure out who plays when. And even for the coaching staff, because ang daming talent. There's a lot of talent in that team.
So ball officially breaks into the 30-point barrier. Has scored at least that many in all 3 of his PBA games so far. 24 ang lamang ng TNT. Perez looping it up pero di pa rin papasok. Nambatak out to Pugoy. They're trying to get him going. Pero Mintes, look at nito. Hindi lang papasok din yung tira ni Mike.
Look at the effort. How many guys were trying to get that basketball? Retrieve it.
Alinato will foul Perez and will send CJ to the line. Everyone was waiting for a heavyweight battle here in this game between TNT and San Miguel. And I think we did get it. Yun nga lang talaga. Again, we will go back to that first quarter explosion of TNT na nagpalayo agad sa kanila.
Maaga yun eh, alright? It was 14-11 lamang ang TNT in the first 6 minutes of that first quarter. And then yun na, after that timeout, all of a sudden, lumamang itong TNT. They made 2 3-point shots and it was 23-12 at the 8-minute mark.
Galinato almost lost it. He recovered and scored 2 more. Yung ginawa rin ng TNT, Dom, they made Junmar work on both ends.
Yes. You know, especially in the first half, you know, Junmar has what, 1 out of 9? Diba yung statistic na pinakita natin?
Really struggled.
Ball.
Look at that.
He can just shoot over people.
We are taught na dapat yung mga ganong galaw imposible para sa 7'3".
So agile.
Etong SMB in return, you know, you can tell din naman na nararamdaman nila yung pressure being put on by the brilliance of TNT. Some unforced turnovers. They haven't really been able to capitalize dun sa maagang penalty situation ng tropa. Ball. He wants more. Perez gets called for a foul. And Ball, you know, that's why he gets in conversation with different players. Meron kasi siyang mga sinasabi rin talaga eh.
Sinasabi ni CJ Perez, ref, ball na yun. Sinasabi ni Ball, no, you got my hand.
Sabi niya all ball, pero anong ibig sabihin? Yung bola o si
Ball?
Si Ball. Either way, parang hindi mali yung all ball.
Tama naman, di ba?
Parang sila tama. Under 6 minutes left in the fourth. CJ. Wala pa rin. Junmar with the tip.
CJ Perez just has that ability to get to the basket, regardless of who's on him.
Grabe rin yung scoring outbursts ni CJ. Remember, in the finals, he had a 30-point first quarter. Tapos nung naglalaro naman siya for Gilas Pilipinas, scored the first 10 points of Gilas against New Zealand. Well, both imports still on the floor. Are you surprised na andyan pa sila?
No, I'm not surprised. Especially if you're... Because remember, you've got how many elimination games? This conference, 12, right? You want your team, your imports to be able to maximize that. Si Ball averages what, 43 minutes a ball game. You want him to be in tip-top shape. You know, especially there's going to be a few, about a week break later on for this team.
You're still watching the PBA on RPTV. Paulit-ulit na natin nabanggit si Ball Manute Ball, but we have to talk about the locals who have been complimenting him. One of them is Calvin Oftana.
Calvin Oftana spotting up, making himself available. And when he gets that basketball, hindi niya pinapahiya yung bumasa sa kanya. He's giving them that assist and knocking down that 3-point shot. Calvin Oftana just spot on once again in today's game.
And he did his damage nung nagpapahinga si Ball.
Yeah.
And that's why hindi pa rin nakalapit ang San Miguel. We talked about that stretch as an opening, di ba, for the Beermen na maybe put up a mini run, get closer, keep themselves in the game. Did not happen because of Oftana.
Oftana, 16 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists for him.
Tapos ito pa, nakaagaw pa ang TNT. They go straight to Ball. ng bata.
Just look at how they're moving that basketball.
And Nieto knocking down the three.
Unselfish basketball para dito sa TNT.
Miller, hindi mahawakan yung bola.
They're giving him a hard time. Kanina Jason Castro inagawan siya. Ngayon naman, Ray ng Bata.
Ball. I mean, not a lot of players can change from idadakdak ko to sa swabihan na lang natin.
Sa laki din ng kamay. Diba? You have control of that basketball.
Perez flips it up. Lee on the putback. So Lee continuing his strong play. But of course, when a team, lalo na yung expected to have a strong start, expected to be a powerhouse, struggles at the beginning, the question is, do they change their imports? Yan ang magiging usap-usapin.
That's definitely talks by the coaching staff and the management of San Miguel. Kasi, again, so far, ang tinitignan mo dalawang import, right? The barometers. Ball, Manute Ball, Justin Brownlee. You could argue Jalen Johnson as well. They're part of that conversation.
Meron pang isa, Robert Upshaw ng Blackwater, nagpakilala, di ba? And for Upshaw, I got the chance to cover his first game in the PBA, and I feel like he will just get in better shape as the conference goes along. We see more big games from him. The fans inside the big dome starting to vacate their seats. Pero sabi ni hindi pa, wag muna.
Well, he's showing us a number of his moves, huh?
Absolutely. About 3 minutes left. Pretty much awaiting the final score na lang. This is an impending win from TNT, barring any miracle of a comeback mula sa SMB. That's gonna be 2 free throws for Chua dahil natawagan si Miller. Actually, Miller was given extended minutes in this game. Did not feel like he was as productive as he hoped to be.
Well, a couple of times na agawan siya. So, they're trying to give him some burn. Because remember, they started out with Chongson and then Chris Ross still injured. Then you have Jeron Tang and Jericho Cruz. These guys actually play the point guard position every so often.
That is true. Alam mo, Dong, bihira nga yung San Miguel to welcome 2 rookies in a season. At the most, siguro isa. Minsan, hindi man lang magpapalit at all ng roster.
Yes, exactly.
But this season, they introduced yan si Chris Miller and Royce Mantua, both of whom are on the floor right now. And both of whom, by the way, won championships in their very first PBA conference.
Ang sarap, ano?
Oo. Honestly, ang sarap
Kasi ilan lang ang nakalaro sa PBA. Bilang yan.
May numero tayo galing kay Magu. Less than 1,300.
Ayan. Tapos iilan lang ang nanalo ng kampiyonato.
That's true. Miller finally gets his first 2 points of the game. Nava. Ito rin, naging rookie rin nga to for San Miguel. Now with TNT, a recent signing. Haven. Now with Chua. Justin. And corks a 3, no good. Kahili with a rebound. And here is Mantua now. They're trying to get the rookies involved. Royce missing that outside shot.
Ever since lumamang yung TNT, hindi na talaga nila pinalapit itong San Miguel.
Is this game, Dom, an alarming sight for San Miguel, or is it just a one-off? Ball was great, TNT shot the lights out, kind of a night.
I think it's one game, but definitely ang titignan nilang change dito is the import, right? Is he the right import for them to be able to get them to? Pag kinusap mo San Miguel, nothing less than a championship. TNT, same thing, nothing less than a championship. So that's what you're going for. You need somebody who can help you win the championship.
That's right. And again, itong Dalawang teams na to, they've been in the finals a lot of times, and the most recently, in the last 2 conferences, sila yung nagtapat sa finals, so we expect nothing less. Chua. Oh, what a move for Justin. Very agile big din talaga to si Chua.
It's good to see him, you know, back and getting minutes and being able to contribute.
There were actually a lot of chit-chatter online nung panahong wala si Justin Chua sa PBA, asking where is he, and saying that he deserves to be in the PBA, he deserves a PBA contract, finally making his comeback with the TNT Tropang 5G. Two for Chua. Late na ginamit dito, pero naka-11 puntos pa
11
rin.
points already. Just like how you were asking about Galinato, right? Itong si Justin Chua is doing the same thing. Pag binigyan ka ng minuto, you're able to produce. You know, it's all about being able to produce consistently. And then you will get more minutes. Because remember, there are still some injuries to the big men. So mabibigyan at mabibigyan ka ng minuto. Aside from the injuries, you could get into foul trouble on any given ball game.
And speaking of fouls, Miller got fouled. He completes a 3-point play. Dom, here in this game, nahulog na yung mga tira sa labas ng TNT. Like we said, no, just under 29% in their first 2 games. They were 10 of 29. They are 10 of 29. Baka magbago pa yan. Pero naramdaman mo talaga yung impact ng outside shooting nila in this game.
And, you know, bakit mo naramdaman? Dikit-dikit eh. Right? Yun yung nagpalaki. And then, because it came from assist passes, it came from really good fluid motion coming from their offense, getting to their spots.
Wala na sa sahig si Marcus Lee for SMB, but he finally gets his first 30-piece in the PBA. 30 points, 14 rebounds, tsaka very efficient, ha? 12 of 16 from the field. Junmar was really limited, though, and we know Junmar was San Miguel's primary offensive option in their first 2 games.
And it seems like really this game was won in the first quarter, right? Kasi dun talagang lumaking lamang. And then everywhere else, in the second, third, and even here in the fourth quarter, halos pantay na lang.
Totoo yan. Ferrer wants to add to their lead. No, Tyrus still with a putback. Mantua, pinag-isipan pang sumubok pa rin. Calma will try, but he got blocked by Hill. And that will be the ball game. TNT will dribble it off. Miller still wants to play defense. And that final buzzer will signal another win para sa TNT. That's 2 in a row for them as they take this one, 118-92. Ball, Manute Ball, another major performance para sa kanya at siya ang ating player of the game.
Well, our player of the ball game started this ball game really well. 34 points, 18 rebounds, 14 of 28 from the field. Itong si Ball, Manute Ball. And you know, you gotta love how this guy plays, the effect, what he does for his team, what he does for the crowd. He electrifies the crowd with his moves because of his height, because of his ability and his agility, able to put that ball on the floor.
Grabe talaga.
Manute Ball, another spectacular game for him, getting their second win.
Absolutely, a dominant performance for him. Dahil sa kanya, namayagpag ang TNT Tropang 5G 118-92. That's her final score. And that will do it for our second game offering mula po sa Smart Araneta Coliseum for my partner Dominic Uy and Apple David para po sa aming talented production and technical teams. My name is Jot Sulit. Thanking you for watching the PBA here on RPTV. Bukas po magbabalik kami. It's another doubleheader coming straight from here, the Smart Araneta Coliseum. We'll see you tomorrow for more of your PBA.
It is TNT Tropang 5G winning their second consecutive game, and our player of the game is Ball Manute, who finished with 34 points, 18 rebounds, 14 out of 28 from the field. Ball, congratulations. After losing your first game, you went back-to-back. What has been the biggest adjustment for you playing here in the PBA?
I think just getting used to the physicality and getting my teammates involved, and I think that's what's got us the last 2 wins.
With 3 games in already with your team, where are you at when it comes to familiarity and being comfortable with them?
I think we're good now. It was just a little bit hard the first game, but after these last 3 games, I'm getting used to it, and they're getting used to playing with me now too.
Ball, since it was announced that you're coming here in the PBA, a lot of fans have been watching you, supporting you. Any message you want to send out?
I appreciate all the fans and just keep coming to all the games.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your time. Congratulations, Ball. Now let's turn it over to the press room for the winning coach.
Coach, good evening. Coach, despite the playoff atmosphere, you seem to make the game a bit easy on your part and dominating San Miguel from start to finish.
Well, it was just basically because the other team wasn't complete. They're missing a lot of players. And then now kami naman ng kompleto. Well, relatively, we still don't have Poy and Kelly, but at least now we have Jason and Roger. And those two were huge missing pieces for us in the finals when we played San Miguel. So the tables kind of turned this time. So we're happy with the win, but you know that's not the full San Miguel team that we just played.
Time to look back now at this battle between 2 of the teams that made it to the finals in the last 2 conferences of the PBA, TNT and San Miguel. Inaabang ang rematch. Wami Chongson made his presence felt in that first quarter.
Well, we talked about the first few minutes, the first 6 minutes actually, for these 2 teams. It was kind of close at that point in time, 14-11 actually, for these 2 teams. But then they started making their threes. When we say they, that's TNT. They made 4 3-point shots in that quarter, moving the ball, going to that spot, and just having enough time to get a clean look and knocking down those threes.
Grabe yung run na pinakawalan ng TNT. That was a 23-1 run na talagang nag-open up ng game simulat sa pool pa lang. It was a lot of 3-pointers. 4 na sunod-sunod ba naman yung pinasok nila. They led by 19 at the end of the first.
35-16 ang score natin after that first 12 minutes because of the ball movement. In the second quarter, continuing to do the same. Jason Castro, Ball Manute, able to get their teammates open, getting them good looks, and knocking down the shots. San Miguel, you could see they were struggling. I like, though, how their import, Marcus Lee, would try to put some effort and try to get some points on the board because the other guys were struggling, especially Junmar Fajardo.
Yeah, Marcus Lee had 30 points, his best scoring night in the PBA. Pero hindi nga naging sapat kasi kita mo naman yung opensa ng TNT galing sa kung sino-sino, pati si Ava Nava playing his first game in a TNT uniform, may 3 din na ambag, and they led by 25 at the end of the first half. They limited SMB to 32 first half points.
Well, here, nakita natin, Jot, in the third quarter, you could see that San Miguel waking up a little bit. Pero every time meron silang run, Ball would make a big play. And look at this one. He knew. Wami Chongson did a good job of blocking him, but he just threw that ball up because he's so tall, because he's so quick, able to get that rebound and the putback quickly, and the 2 points once again. We talked about the San Miguel import. We talked about him getting to those spots and playing his best game so far in the PBA, getting that 2-hand slam.
Pero eto, kinailangan ng San Miguel ng tulong ng kung sino-sino. Si Junmar, after going 1 for 8 in the first half, naging mas aggressive siya in the second half.
Getting offensive rebounds. He knew that kinakailangan niyang dumiin para makabalik itong San Miguel. But even with that, TNT was just making a big play after big play. That time, that was a 4-point shot for Jason Castro.
That was his only made field goal in the game, but he did have 8 assists. Iba pa rin talaga ang kamandag ni The Blur. In the fourth quarter, we had more TNT, and their attack just kept coming from everyone.
Well, after that first quarter, we said second quarter, third quarter, more or less the same for the 2 teams. Kumbaga, more or less match. Basically, same thing happened in the fourth quarter. Tuloy-tuloy pa rin pang ikot ng bola. Everybody basically, the TNT put in the ball game. Sabi nga ni Coach Shot, kompleto sila. They were able to contribute positively for TNT.
And in the fourth quarter, it was pretty much just checking out kung ano magiging final score. Pero may pabaon pang pag-goodbye si Calvin Oftana as he hit one more. Maaga nakapagpahinga si Ball. Finishing touches para sa TNT. Ball Manute Ball finished with 34 points and 18 rebounds. His lowest scoring output, pero grabe yung impact.
Lowest scoring output but biggest margin win para dito sa TNT, going to their second straight win, a 2-1 record para dito sa Tropang 5G.
118-92 is the final score. TNT takes the win over SMB. And that will do it for us from the Smart Araneta Coliseum. Para po sa aking mga partners, Dominic Uy and Apple David. And para sa lahat na bumubuo ng aming talented production and technical teams. Again, my name is Judd Sulit. Maraming salamat po sa patuloy ninyong panonood at pagsuporta sa PBA 50th Season Commissioner's Cup. Magkita-kita tayo bukas for another doubleheader coming here from the Smart Araneta Coliseum. Palabas lang natin, syempre, dito sa RPTV.
And there you have it, mga ka-PBA. Kakatapos nga lang po ng laban between TNT and San Miguel Beermen. Whew! What a game, what a game. I'm wondering if you guys were expecting that o kayo ba ay nagulat with how TNT won in a dominant fashion and ended the game at the score of 118-92. I personally think that it was really TNT's perimeter shooting, their outside shooting that set the tone for this win. Again, going back to that first quarter, they had 4 consecutive 3-point shots at yun na, doon na kumapal yung kanilang cushion all throughout the game and they were able to sustain their lead. They were actually leading by as much as 29 points all throughout that game. Pero hindi lang din yung kanilang scoring yung kailangan natin i-highlight dito. Syempre, kailangan natin pag-usapan yung iba pang stats. Pero bago yan, I know a lot of you guys are watching. Kanina nakita ko, pumalo to as much as 170,000 ng ating viewers for tonight's game. Unahin natin mga nagpapa-shoutout, napakarami ha. Nandyan si Jemar Mendoza, sinulat ko lahat yan guys. Jemar Mendoza, Kimli Catalan, Vermas 711, si Wen Corpus, Mickey Santiago. I remind you guys, keep the comments PG-13. Kung hindi ko mababasa yung inyong mga sinasabi. But also, let us know what you think about the game. Saan nga ba kinulang ang San Miguel? At saan din ba talaga nag-dominate itong TNT? Ilan pa sa ating mga manonood? Watching from Japan, si Chris Bulatag, 8308. Nandyan rin, watching from UAE, si Johnny Orvida. Watching from Bolinao, Pangasinan, Go TNT. Kanina pa to, no? Talagang nag-cheer siya. Si Haven RQ. Si Carlos Kayag naman, watching from Palawan. Life with Brisk, tuned in from Taiwan. Wow, talagang all over ang ating mga viewers. Si Andres Bakay, cheering from Cagayan Valley, supporting JMF. Let me know as well, ano ba sa tingin nyo yung naging performance ni Junmar Fajardo in tonight's game? Nandyan din, watching from Lucena, si GV BGS 57. Kanina meron siyang fearless forecast, 50 points, 25 rebounds, and 10 blocks daw. Itong si Bol. Sige nga, silipin nga natin muna ang ating mga post-game stats and himayin natin maya-maya yung individual stats of our players and see kung umabot nga ba dyan ang stats na finorcast ng ating mga viewers. Again, 3-point shooting on the side of TNT, shooting at 32%. Yung kanilang rebounding, there was also on their side, offensive rebounds. Medyo nakalamang itong San Miguel, pero yung assist, ito yung sinasabi ko na kailangan natin i-highlight. The patience of TNT was very evident. They were able to have, write down, I guess, 23 assists compared to just 14 of SMB. Yung bench points naman, 39 para sa TNT as opposed to just 24 for San Miguel. And again, itong si Bol, he did not reach 50 points, but he did have an output of 34 points and 18 rebounds. Kasangga niya Itong si Calvin Oftana with 18 points, 3 rebounds, and 3 assists. Doon naman, sa side ng San Miguel, nagpakitang gilas itong si Marcus Lee, and it will be a discussion for the San Miguel Beermen if they are going to be staying with him o kung papalit na nga ba yung kanilang bagong import that's there already at the arena. Marcus Lee had 30 points, 14 rebounds, in what is likely though might be his final game for San Miguel. But again, that will be discussion among the coaching staff and the management. Junmar Fajardo, I see all of your comments, mga ka-PBA. Madami ang naghahanap kay Junmar. It wasn't his usual game, but he still had 15 points and 20 rebounds. So, ito, ang dami niyong ang dami niyong mga comments. TNT, si Abay daw, medyo nagkulang for tonight's game. Pero again, I mean, any great player would always have, an off game. So silipin natin kung paano nga ba babawi si the Kraken in their next game. But for now, let's look at our highlights. First up, of course, you have Bobo with a two-handed slam. The intensity is there. Marcus Lee, agad namang sasagot para sa SMB. At itong susunod natin makikita, Trollano here, going inside the paint. Gets that too. And Don Trollano adding 2 points pero medyo kinulang nga para dito sa San Miguel. Junmar Fajardo again with the basket. +1. But then again, that is not enough. At kung umaarangkada man itong SMB, pamatay sunog agad itong si Bolbol. At para sa TNT, again, bench points are so important. Justin Chua getting those minutes, making an impact, and it was just an all-around game for everyone from the side of TNT. Orin also helping out with a 3-point shot. BGR with a strong jam. So whether it's from the outside or inside the paint, TNT is just scoring from everywhere. I mean, look at that steal from Bolbol as well. Court to court, no? Parang point guard. Gumalaw din itong si Bolbol, hindi lang big man. And aside from their very talented import, you also have Nieto with that shot. Quick jumper from him. Excuse me, that was Oftana rather. Ito, Marcus Lee, again, having 30 points in this game. But it might have been too late of a comeback para sa import ng San Miguel. So titignan natin kung siya pa rin nga ba ang magiging import nila in their next game. And speaking of their next game, silipin natin kung ano nga ba yung next 3 games nitong San Miguel. They will be going up MBK, a team from Macau, this Tuesday, March 31st at 7:30 p.m. sa Ninoy Aquino Stadium. Kasunod niyan, ang Ginebra San Miguel sa Smart Araneta Coliseum on Sunday, April 5 at 7:30 p.m. And versus Rain or Shine next Wednesday, April 8, 7:30 p.m. Balik sila dyan sa Ninoy Aquino Stadium. Puntaan naman natin ang next 3 games ng TNT. Sino nga ba ang kanilang kakalabanin? Pakita natin. Okay, on Tuesday, April 7, 7:30 p.m., they will be going up against Meralco Bolts. On Saturday, April 11 at 5:15 p.m. sa Ninoy Aquino Stadium, they will be going up against Terra Firma. At Blackwater Bossing naman, ang kanilang makakatapat on April 14, that is Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. sa Inares Center, Antipolo. Okay. O sige, silipin muna natin ang ating mga chat, ano? Ang dami pa rin talagang nagpapabate. At mga nanonood sa atin from all around the world. Just to remind everybody, actually, our next live chat will be tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. as well. Teka nga, silipin natin. Ano nga ba yung next live chat natin? That will be on the game between Converge Fiber Xers and Ginebra San Miguel. That is at 7:30 p.m. as well. So Justin Brownlee and the Barangay Ginebra San Miguel cross paths with Kyler Kelly and the Converge Fiber Xers in the main event of our PBA Sunday doubleheader. So very exciting game as well tomorrow. Kaya tutok lang mga ka-PBA dahil madami pa tayong babantayan, ano? At marami pa tayong makakausap. Tuloy-tuloy ang ating discussion. Again, balikan natin yung ating mga comment section. Meron akong kodigo dito. Nandyan si Joel Napoles watching from Lincoln, Australia. Si Macnan7657 who's watching from Iran. Nandyan si William Sumbang, nanonood sa atin. Alan Bergaso, shout out, congrats TNT. Okay. Sabi ni Cat Y5Z, double team nila dapat si Ball. Okay. Ikaw munti ka na ko doon sa comment mo. Shout out kay Alvin Saint to 11:30. Vlog mo katropa, nanonood din sa atin. Nandyan din si John Cedric N47. N4W rather, malakas ang TNT sa import conference. Kaya daw nilang i-defend ang kanilang championship. Naku, sige nga, abangan nga natin yan. Teka lang pero sa lahat po ng nanonood sa atin from all around the world, kanina may mga binati na po tayo. We just want to remind you sa mga kapatid nating OFW, para sa mabilis, safe at sulit na padala to the Philippines, download TapTapSend, the trusted remittance best friend of OFWs worldwide. So again, pakita ko lang mga ka-PBA, yung TapTapSend, it's so easy. Pwede nyo siya i-download sa Apple Store or sa Google Play. Tapos, makikita nyo na kagad yung conversion ng pera na ipapadala nyo. And you can click kung nasang bansa man kayo. Nandiyan ng UK, may Australia, sa Europe, Austria, Belgium. You go to the western side pa ulit, Brazil, Canada. So, napakadaming bansa from wherever you are, from all around the world. It's as easy as using your phone, having a few clicks, at lahat po ng inyong pera na gustong ipadala to your loved ones, buong-buo mapapadala nyo po dahil there is no travel. So when you download, make sure that that's a logo that you see on your app. At tuloy-tuloy lang po ang inyong pagpapadala ng inyong padalove sa inyong mga kapamilya, mga kapatid, kamag-anak, kung sino man sila that deserve your love and your hard-earned money. At kung kayo naman po ay sports fans, ito, for the latest in the world of sports, please follow One Sports on YouTube, Facebook, X, Reddit, Instagram, and TikTok. All over social media po tayo, and we're giving you a lot of platforms to follow the PBA, but as well as all the sporting events happening here in the Philippines. At yan po muna for tonight. Again, my name is Denise Tan, mga ka-PBA. Thank you for joining us tonight. This has been the PBA Season 50 Commissioner's Cup live chat on One Sports YouTube, presented by TapTap. Have a good night.
Ikaw ba, alam mo ang TapTapSend at gumagamit ka ba ng TapTapSend?
Yes, TapTapSend ang ginagamit ko kapag nagpapadala ka sa Pilipinas. Kakapadala ko lang last.
Pilipinas Live is the home of Philippine volleyball. Watch your favorite volleyball leagues such as Spikers Turf, Premier Volleyball League, and the UAAP, all in one app. You can watch all these games and more live and on your preferred device. Download Pilipinas Live today from the App Store or Google Play Store and register for free.